Oh, aren't we silly? Don't have anything ready, what the hell? What the heck? So whatever. How's it going, Rigo? Or Rijo? Put on so Chow and the best Remy. How's it going? How's it going? We need a good clip to start the other wedding album. We have two weddings. The cool kids would understand that. Oh shit, what? There we go. Oh, we have so many things to be reacting to today.
Look.
This is disgusting. This is horrible. And you thought this was a good idea? You call yourself a creative? Why would you make this? You have a loving family at home, and this is what you make? You draw like a 6th-stage Alzheimer victim. You create like Shakespeare in reverse.
No. No.
What does tofu and dildos have in common?
What?
What does tofu and dildos have in common?
The fuck? I don't know.
They're both meat substitutes. Oh! Peace! I'm out!
Billy, do you think a lot of your chatters know the lore between you and I?
Like, what kind of lore?
How we met?
Yeah, maybe.
Do you think they know the lore about, like, you on the date with me?
You are such a rage baiter. That's crazy.
What? Go ahead, say it. It's the truth. Don't be afraid of your past. That's
I'll
my
say
job.
it like this, okay? I met Mizkiff because when I first started streaming, there was a guy who named Rafflegator. He would do date shows. I went on there. Instead of winning, Mizkiff kicked me off the show because I started talking to his friend more than him.
Just think what you could have been if you didn't do that.
I'm getting major Diddy vibes. I can't lie.
Just think, if you just didn't talk to Lakar, you could have been with me all these years.
Jesus Christ.
And you would have been canceled right by my side.
What the frick is happening, man? It's all good, dude.
You were in love with me. Just admit it. Just tell the truth.
Am I in danger? Am I free to leave?
Hello, chat. How is everybody doing? Welcome to this fine, fabulous, fantastic Toy Tuesday. I almost said Thursday, but it's Tuesday. Tuesday. Okay, so let's say hi to all the people who have been chatting in chat. Starting with hello to Jesus Christ, how about I reset my brain and stop having a fucking stroke? But McSkittles says Steven, Arahime, Richo 92. Meteoric Vegihan, Dis Fantasy, Funoso Chow, The Best Remy, Devastator. Thank you for the 350. Monster, I ain't gonna give you no 350. Hadrix, how's it going? Nox, okay, Nox TS 9577. Is there other people that I'm missing? And I don't really think so. Isaac 13D, I think I said you, but you know, just one more time, just in case. Good Tuesday. Toes Day, toes? Tummy and toes? Tummy and toes. What a bargain. You're having a drink because I'm thirsty. A gallon of water. A gallon? Yeah, what? Wait, how fucking thirsty are you? God damn. Okay, well, you didn't, but now you did. Okay, well, good. Let's see here. Actually, I should probably take a sip of water here. So, we have a number of things on the docket. Billy Donuts, how's it going? We have a number of things on the docket to react to today. And then after our reaction, we are actually going to be migrating over to kick.com. What in the there's a stack of stickers on the ground in front of me in real life. Hold on, I'm Big Buddhist. How's it going? GP Ravenfire, how's it going? Give me just a second. My dad collects stickers, but there's just a shitload of stickers on the ground here, and there's no reason why there should be. Hold on, I'll be right back. Alright, there we go. I've confused and agitated Papa Elfpire. Yeah, stickers, oh, thank you so much, Meteoric, for the 20 gifted memberships. Gruff Money, Erohaman, Brunden, On Butter, Toast, Jack, Riley, D, Zalvin. It's going too fast, Jesus. Thank you for the 20 gifted memberships. What kind are they? The wife? No, they're not. No, they're not the waifu stickers, guys. Papa Elfpire is like Gen X and fucking he collects brand stickers and stuff like that. That's something that people do, right? I mean, obviously it is because my dad does it. Redhead Undead. Who in the world? That sounds like an alt account that I would have. What in the world? Pot stickers or adhesive image? Adhesive image stickers. Nelly Donuts. He's old enough for Space Battleship Yamato. Some old school anime. He would never watch that. Dude, look, guys. Oh my god, Devastator. Jesus, oh my god, with the 50 gifted memberships. Thank you so much. Again, thank you to,
Like, what kind of war?
Oh my god. Okay, we should be back. Alright, are we back? I don't, let me know, chat. Even is it true you dye your hair red? Your mom told us so. First of all, Vegihan, that is not my mom. My mom died in a fire that orcs fucking set and burned my village down, and I ran away, and when I was running away in the wild I got turned by a feral vampire who died shortly thereafter. Ayla is an orphan and sole survivor. People have to remember this. Any other claims is nothing but slander. Nothing but slander. How's it going, Landbean? How's it going? Z12345, how's it going? And yes, we did crash. Just for a second. Hopefully that's the only time now. Yeah, so tragic. Actually, if you guys want to see, I'm pretty sure I can bring it up here. But I actually have a backstory for Eva, for D&D in particular. Let me see if I can bring it up on one of my Roll20 tools. Character Vault. Tools. Give me that. Okay. No, I just want... Oh my god, guys. I just want to see my characters. Conspiracy theory time. Thank you, by the way, Rachel, for being a Jarl for 11 months. Eva's mom hired the orcs to attack the village so she could slip away on another. What the fuck? Isn't Eva a snow elf? Eva is a snow elf. Okay, October 10th. This one might be it. You forgot the part of your origin where you got fired by the key light. That was never... Curse you. Curse you. Just... Hello? I just... Bio and info. Here we go. Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm gonna read you guys Eva's bio for my D&D version of the character. David was born beneath the shimmering lights of the aurora in a small, tight-knit snow elf settlement tucked between the cliffs of the spine of the world. Her people were hunters, carvers, and storytellers, proud descendants of the frost-touched elves who had long ago turned their exile into endurance. The village taught her reverence for the wind, patience with the snow, and wariness for the endless night. That night came sooner than she ever expected. When she was still young, the orcs descended on her village, a roving war band from the southern passes, hardened by hunger and bloodlust. The snow that night was red, and the wind carried the screams of her kin. Eva fled into the blizzard with nothing but her mother's knife and a small carved idol of a Kenneth, the Frost Guardian. She ran until her legs failed her, until the cold claimed her senses and the world went white. When she awoke, the blizzard was silent and she was no longer alone. A figure stood over her, radiant and terrible, cloaked in moonlight and shadow. Eyes like shards of ice gazed upon her with both pity and amusement. He called himself Kenneth, a lord of twilight and blood, a fey being who had once ruled courts of eternal winter before turning his gaze toward the mortal realm. He offered her a bargain. Let death pass you by, little snowflake. Serve me, and you shall never fade in the frost again. And then she wakes up as a vampire, just south of the 10 Towns Path in Icewind Dale, where she stumbled upon a small band of adventurers. And then that's pretty much where that's pretty much how D&D Eva starts. Yeah, references to Icewind Dale, good job. Festiva, did any of that sound like ERP? Because I'm pretty sure that just sounded like a character introduction. I'll fit, yes, Landbean. All things that burn in the sunlight. But let's get into the Elfpire React thing, okay? Because we've been going for a while, and we have not even started what we were supposed to start. And the first video that we're going to be reacting to today is a video posted by NateTheLawyer 10 months ago, entitled First Black Mayor Resigns, then takes it back after pulling a gun on a cop. Jesus. I read this D&D novel where party defeated an avatar of Leoth by making her drink Fey wine, which is toxic to no Fey. Yeah, no, that's true. Actually, in the Doomed Icewind Dale campaign that I'm in right now, Eva and the party actually just managed to defeat and kill Avarice. And for those who don't know, Avarice is an albino tiefling who dedicated herself to the service of Levistus, which is an archduke of one of the lower hells. Oh, thank you, Ryu, so much for the 5 gifted memberships. What mayor pulls a gun? What the hell? I know, right, guys? It's gonna get wild. I Look, I don't know what the heck this story is. All I know is it sounds insane. So let's go ahead and stop the background music. Let us get our react on. Here, let me get everything ready. Damn, pause that, put this, okay, here we go.
All right, we cover a lot of crazy mayors,
right.
but this mayor from Jonesboro is insane. For
Jonesboro,
instance,
okay.
let's start with she's pulling guns on police officers in her office.
Just confirmed the GBI is
In her
launching an
office?
investigation after a Jonesboro police lieutenant.
I'm sorry, okay, hold on, we gotta turn this down just a little bit. But in her office, I didn't mean to fucking squeak there, but Jesus. Came into, mayor pulls a gun. Okay, just gonna see my way out. Can you do it? How's he going? Yes, actually, okay, so JP Ravenfire just said Levistus, yes. So not only did we defeat Avarice, but because this is a doomed Icewind Dale campaign, for those who don't know, there's an Icewind Dale campaign in Forgotten Realms that you can follow. However, there's a doomed version of that where the party didn't actually win, and it takes place like a year after the big bad wins, quote-unquote wins, right? That's the one that Eva's in. I just made my party make a trip up to Brinchander, which is now abandoned and in the center. The lower planes have started to shift into the mortal realm, and Levistus is encased in a giant block of ice on his throne in the center market of Brinchander. Of course, as soon as I saw that, we fucking ran and we made our way back south of the river, more towards the south part of 10 Towns Road. But yeah, there's some insanity going on in my campaign. Can't wait for this weekend. We have a Saturday and Sunday session.
Is accusing the mayor of pointing a gun at him.
This investigation is coming just 5 months after Danya Sartor was elected, making her the city's first African-American mayor.
Yeah, this story is insane.
Let's hear it, Nate.
Welcome to Jonesboro, Georgia. Population 4,200 and some change. Now, they are about to make history and elect the first black female mayor in the town's history.
I'm really excited
Okay.
about that. Whenever there's a first for any community, I think it's something that everyone should celebrate. So yes, indeed, I am the first black mayor, but I'm looking forward to just doing the work for all of our citizens.
She is a trailblazer, history made in Jonesboro when its citizens elected Danya Sartor. She's the city's first black mayor in its more than 150-year existence. Before running for mayor, Sartor ran for city council. In her time as a councilwoman, she started an Adopt a Senior program. As mayor-elect, she already has several priorities to focus on education, getting the community involved with local government, and she hopes her win will help pave the way for other people of color in the city and set a precedent that everyone deserves a voice at the table.
Now, being the first black
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong about this, but I'm just saying I think a town of like just under 5,000 people isn't really a city so much as it's a town. A city is like, you know, you got tens if not hundreds of thousands of people, if not millions, you know, New York City, LA, etc. I don't think a town of 5,000 people, if I'm being generous, is a city. That's a town. Oh, thank you so much, Rito, for the 10. I thought no one could be as crazy as the former super mayor of Dalton, but she takes this top spot. Here's what's crazy. I think this actually happened just before the super mayor of Dalton, who you're talking about.
female is a big accomplishment, but she also is well educated with a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, and a doctorate in education from Georgia State.
So
now,
she's
as
well
mayor,
established?
she starts making changes to the administration because she wants to bring in her people and take the city in her own direction. So now that brings us to August 2023, where our mayor is having a meeting with Lieutenant Newsom of the Jonesboro Police Department, and he claims she pointed a loaded gun at him.
We have just confirmed the GBI.
What? Oh my God, are you fucking kidding me? How did we get here? Everything was normal. She's the first, elected black female mayor of this town. You know, she seems to be doing things for the community and stuff, and all of a sudden, she pointed a gun at me. What? I'm sorry, what?
Is launching an investigation after a Jonesboro police lieutenant is accusing the mayor of pointing a gun at him.
This investigation is coming just 5 months after Danya Sarter was elected, making her...
Stop it, Isaac. Stop it, Isaac. She girl boss too close to the sun. I can't even right now.
The city's first African-American mayor.
11 Alive obtained this letter Jonesboro's police chief sent to the Clayton County District Attorney's Office asking it to investigate the allegations. It describes a formal complaint a police lieutenant allegedly filed after he says the mayor...
Nope. Hold on. Let me just do this. Okay. Okay, District Attorney Mosley, I am writing to bring to your attention a matter of utmost importance. Per a conversation on Thursday, August 31st, 2023, that has recently come to my attention warrants a thorough investigation. This incident involves serious allegations against Mayor Danya Sartor, and I believe it is in the best interest of justice and public safety to pursue an inquiry into the matter. I received a formal complaint from Redacted, who is a commander for our agency, who has raised grave concerns regarding an incident involving Mayor. According to blank, he experienced a distressing encounter during which Mayor allegedly produced a handgun from her desk drawer and pointed it directly at him before concealing the weapon in her handbag. That's quite a, holy crap. R13 Cerberus, no, this is Georgia. This is like a little town in Georgia. Let's see here. Blake has expressed his profound apprehension and fear for his safety in light of this incident. Furthermore, he has conveyed his awareness of a strained relationship with the mayor, indicating that the mayor harbors animosity towards him. This combination of factors has understandably left Blake feeling vulnerable and threatened. Given the seriousness of these allegations and the potential implications for public safety and trust in our local government, I humbly request that your office initiates a comprehensive investigation into this matter. It is crucial to ascertain the veracity of the claims made by Blank and to ensure that the truth is brought to light. This is interesting because it's like, this is a serious allegation, right? Obviously, I would suggest, obviously an investigation. But if all you have is this dude's testimony, is that enough to create a reasonable suspicion to launch a full investigation? She should have, I imagine if this was in her office, she should have, like, video camera. Security camera. Remember, in the United States, it's innocent until proven guilty. Yes, these are serious allegations, but if all I have is words, I'm sorry, I need more than just words.
After he says the mayor took out a gun from her desk and pointed it directly at him before putting the gun in her handbag.
That's another thing, actually, that New York just brought up. Not the mere fact that she owned a gun or even took it out of her desk, I don't think is illegal. It's if she threatened him with it. Yeah, it's called brandishing, right? But here's an issue. Yeah, not enough stuff unless there's footage. And here's the thing. What if, for whatever reason, this individual, misread the situation? You're telling me she opened up her desk, took out her gun, pointed it directly at you, and then put it in her purse? How about what sounds more likely, she took out her handgun, put it in her purse, and you overreacted? Because I don't know why, and people can ask if I'm wrong about this or not, we can look into it. But like I've seen lots of instances where the very people who are very pro Second Amendment get extremely uncomfortable when people like this own weapons. It's kind of hilarious. Just an observation, not really a statement.
One day after getting the police chief's letter, the district attorney's office requested GBI's assistance as an impartial third party to review the allegation.
So now, I know you guys are probably like, that's crazy, but it's he said versus she said. But the mayor admits to brandishing a weapon in her office in front of the lieutenant. You think I'm joking?
So everything I just said can now be discounted? Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Look, I did everything I'm supposed to do. I did everything right. And this bitch comes out and says, yeah, no, I did it. You know what? Actually, just real quick. I have to show you guys what this reminds me of. Hold on. Alright, heading out right now. Have a good stream, everyone, sir. Hey, you have a good one. But this is what this reminds me of, okay? Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Okay, let me see here. Yeah, here we go.
A defendant stupidly interrupting his lawyer's closing remarks. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, over the past 4 days, you have seen state's prosecutor attempt to effectively bamboozle you with a series of hearsay arguments and loose speculative evidence, placing my client near the scene of the crime during the time of the murder. This evidence does nothing to indicate motive or means in the horrific murder of Roger Bell. Ultimately, it will be your decision to say, does this man deserve a lifetime in a federal penitentiary based on specious, inconclusive evidence? You are tasked to consider the evidence and whether it proves beyond a reasonable doubt whether my client is guilty. Is my client a perfect man? No.
I killed him, yeah.
Your Honor,
I killed him, yeah. That's pretty much what just fucking happened. I fucking put together this amazing defense. It's like, look, these are the standards that they have to meet and all these other things, and then fucking, oh, bitch admits it. God damn it, what the hell? What's that I even for then?
The door. Grabbed the handgun and transferred it and just commented that I want to make sure I don't leave it here because it was the end of the day.
She tells me the incident happened here in her...
Wait a minute. That actually sounds like exactly what I said it must have been. Her taking it out of her desk, transferring it to her handbag. Now, maybe she didn't incorrectly, you know? You have the 4 rules of rules when it comes to owning and handling a firearm. You know, even in transferring the thing from one thing to another, you shouldn't have the barrel pointed in the direction of the person, right? Exactly. Isaac 13D. That's a bit different than brandishing. Okay, now we're on the other side of it. God damn it, we have flip-flopped so hard. Double reverse. Reverse. We're freaking doing 360s over here.
Office.
But hold on,
proceeded to get the ruler and continue with our conversation.
No, happened here.
Hold on. Let's see.
Grabbed the handgun and transferred it and just commented that I want to make sure I don't leave it here because it was the end of the day.
She tells me the incident happened here in her office.
That doesn't seem crazy to me. Maybe, I don't know. God, that's weird, isn't it? Like, what you think she... Because he's saying she pointed at him, but she pointed it at him and then put it in her handbag. But this seems much more like what a reasonable person would have done. Maybe she was flipping it around, like revolver hustle, ha. Oh my God, who knows? Let's see.
Proceeded to get the ruler and continue with our conversation.
No threat was made.
No threat was made. He never flinched.
But the lieutenant sees things differently. He told me over the phone he feared for his safety. His attorney advised him not to do an interview. In this letter the lieutenant sent to the chief of police, he says she pointed the gun in his direction, and the unexpected action left him feeling assaulted and in fear. Sauter says the lieutenant never expressed his alarm about the incident. She showed me surveillance video of the lieutenant leaving her office, where she says he did not appear like he was in fear. Why is the mayor allowed to bring in a weapon?
There's currently no law that prohibits me as an elected official, as the chief executive officer for the city of Jonesboro, that prohibits me from bringing a firearm into the building.
We did notice a sign prohibiting weapons at the public entrance. However, there is not a sign at the employee entrance. And does that exclude employees?
None of our employees come through the metal detector.
Sauter says she started carrying a handgun after receiving several threats after being elected as Jonesboro's first African-American mayor.
So as you can see, things are starting to get insane with the first black female mayor, and she's going to obviously pull the race card later. But the city council said, hey, we don't want another Tiffany Hinyard because this is starting to look a little crazy. So what did they do? They banned the mayor from City Hall and said, hey, you stay away until we figure out what's happening here.
A Clayton County judge is now stepping in after Jonesboro City Council members handed over.
I'm sorry, that seems a bit of an overreaction, does it not? I mean, okay, honestly this sounds like is a cop fucking, even if he's the sheriff or the head of the fucking LEOs over here. It sounds like a cop saw a black person with a gun and lost their fucking mind. Am I crazy? Am I missing something here?
Over an order refusing the mayor access to City Hall. Channel 2 learned this stems from an incident where a city employee accused the mayor of pointing a gun at him.
Now, separately, there were other officers who made allegations, like this reserve officer, Salman Carter, who claims that the mayor offered him a city police job in exchange for some campaign donations. A classic quid pro quo. Now, after the Georgia Department of Investigations and District Attorney's Office investigated, they decided not to bring any charges. Here's their reasoning.
They have confirmed the GBI wrapped up its investigation into criminal allegations against the mayor of Jonesboro, and the Clayton County DA's office says it will not seek criminal charges in the case.
In this letter Monday, the chief investigator with the Clayton County District Attorney's Office wrote why this case won't move forward. Back in September, allegations surfaced detailing Mayor Danya Sarter pulling out a gun and pointing it at a Jonesboro police lieutenant in a threatening manner and trying to extort money from a reserve police officer. But the more recent GBI investigation found no criminal wrongdoing. Based on the GBI's investigation, prosecutors determined the mayor's handling of a firearm showed a, quote, lack of judgment and firearm safety, but no criminal intent.
Now, even though the mayor didn't have to worry about criminal investigations, it was still an independent, ongoing investigation by the city council into the mayor's handling of city finances. And that independent investigation was leaked to the press. Here's what the city council found.
Now new at 6.
Okay.
Threats of intimidation using city resources for personal use and interfering with police investigations.
Yeah, how did we... okay, so first there's an allegation that she has brandished a weapon and threatened a lieutenant. They do the investigation, they conclude that nothing of the like happened, and then they immediately move to, well, that allowed us to conduct an investigation into her finances? This feels like the government, this feels like this town's government is fishing for a reason to get rid of this mayor. Yeah, it seems really weird. Okay, you didn't get her on the fucking brandishing thing, so now you're after her for this? Why is it like one after another? Just, I don't know. Something's stinking here.
A few of the allegations thrown against the mayor of Jonesboro in an investigative report.
46-page investigative report details several incidents related to Sauter's alleged conduct as mayor, including claims of erratic behavior and using city resources for personal use.
I knew it was going to hold a lot of allegations that weren't true.
Jonesboro council members requested for an independent investigation after several complaints were made against
I'm sorry, look at all these motherfuckers. You can't tell me. Okay, there's one black guy here.
Jonesboro.
But look at this. White old. You can't even make this up. Oh my fucking god.
Council members requested for an independent investigation after several complaints were made against the mayor since getting elected in March.
I'm extremely frustrated because, first of all, the report was leaked out.
But Sauter says those findings should have not been.
Now here's the thing too, because this chat has watched with me NateTheLawyer's coverage of the super mayor. We've seen how somebody who's caught in like a scandal and shit like that actually reacts. They act fucking crazy. She's acting extremely well put together, very, very level, very just fucking, it's frustrating, but whatever. She's expressing her emotion without letting the emotion express her, if you know what I mean. Is this this feels like satire or something. This is really fucking weird.
Made public yet, due to this temporary restraining order in order to not interfere with the GBI investigation and court proceedings related to some of these allegations. Sauter suspects someone on the council leaked the report. The city attorney said in a statement the council did not authorize the release of this report. Lawson's report claims Sauter violated state law after bringing a loaded firearm into City Hall back in August and pointed the weapon at an officer. Sauter denies that allegation.
Lieutenant Newsom.
So this is in the investigative report about investigating your finances. What, you guys are just kind of throwing anything you can at the wall to see what sticks, it seems like.
Claims are completely unfounded.
She shared this exclusive video of the officer entering and leaving her office multiple times after she brandished the gun.
Someone that fears for their life, someone that, according to the report, I held a gun and pointed it at his chest, would not have returned back to my office 2 more times.
The report also
kind of have to agree with her. If you brandished a gun in front of somebody, put it away, and then they leave your office, my only assumption is they're leaving your office to make a report to actually deal with the source of their discomfort. They're not going to then return to your office 2 more times to basically tempt the gods in repeating something that made them feel threatened, right? If you feel threatened by somebody, you don't keep coming back to that room on the source of your threat.
Who claims a Jonesboro police officer worked overtime to take 2 of her family members to a Beyonce concert and later dropped her off at a hotel near Lenox Mall for a party.
95% of my time as mayor doing city business, I travel alone without security.
And the report also lists allegations that Sauter requested for employees to make campaign contributions.
Absolutely untrue. I figured they were going to try to do anything they could to get me out of office.
Yeah, look, I hope to God you have evidence of all of this. I mean, you have, you are alleging so many things. Like 5 or 6 different things that you've alleged of her. Right after she's taken office, something doesn't sound right.
So the mayor had survived all of this craziness, but now it was time for her to get back to business. So she fired some of the police officers who were involved in this quote-unquote scandal.
2 former Jonesboro police officers have now filed a lawsuit in federal court saying they were retaliated against and fired after reporting alleged wrongdoing by the mayor.
Well, here's kind of the thing. They reported wrongdoing. It was investigated, no wrongdoing was found, and so, obviously, that means that, on some level, these officers submitted false reports. So, of course, their termination should be obvious. If they fucking come up with an accusation, people look into it, and find nothing of the sort, and find no criminal wrongdoing. Of course you should think that, oh yeah, that might cost me my job. Far less has cost people their job than fucking falsely reporting and trying to get your mayor fucking booted out of office. And the investigation was leaked as well. Yeah, American. Actually, I guess it depends on the state and a jurisdiction, but I imagine there's several areas that, the mayor's firing and hiring power on, if not hiring power, like, say, you know, with the head of the police.
Live broke the news of those allegations last September and the investigation that followed, where the GBI found no wrongdoing by the mayor.
Former Jonesboro officers Daryl Triplett and Godric Newsom say they've been through the ringer ever since Mayor Danya Sarter took office back in March of 2023. Both men allege that Sarter has acted both unethically and criminally. 2 investigations were launched, one through the GBI, another through the city. The city's investigation found policy violations on Sarter's behalf, but GBI's found no criminal wrongdoing. Now, Triplett and Newsom are saying Sarter and the city violated the state's Whistleblower Act for allegedly retaliating against them. Attorney and legal expert Daryl Cohen tells me that the standard of proof can be a little different in cases like this.
Civil is the preponderance of the evidence, and people say, what is that? It's just a little more than half, 51 as opposed to 49%.
Cohen says it's very likely the case will end up being mediated.
Oh.
It has very bad optics, and no one no one.
Okay, so I just saw Shoujo ask, is Eva's gold armband magnetic? I want you to think about what you just said. Is gold magnetic? Is gold magnetic? Crap. I think I've gaslit myself. I can't remember if gold is magnetic or not. What? Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Hold on. Shit. Gold is a color, but it's also a fucking heavy mineral, or metal. Fucking shut up. Is gold magnetic? Ha, it's not. Okay, she is so stunning and brave. Eve, are you for real? What? Listen, I forgot for a second. I was pretty sure it wasn't magnetic, but I couldn't remember for sure. Magic gold can be anything you want it to be. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Look, if anyone in chat gets me, are you smarter than a 5th grader? I will fucking take that game and I will get every fucking question right, and then you guys will stop acting like I'm dumb just because I forgot for a second that gold isn't magnetic.
From Jonesboro wants to be on the front page.
There are several allegations in the lawsuit, including a claim that Sarter pulled a gun on Newsom, misuse of police resources, quid pro quo, and ultimately termination when these men stepped forward. However, Sarter has maintained the whole ordeal is rooted in racism because she's the first black mayor.
Now, as you heard at the end, the mayor, because she's black, happened to be able to pull the race card and started pulling it like it was an ace. Here she is claiming racism at a city council meeting when they're challenging her about how she's spending the money.
I'm taller than a 5th grader now, Rene.
Mayor. Go ahead, it's very inappropriate for you to do what you do.
On the night before last week's presidential...
Yo! Guys, that was quite a bit different than the calm, cool, collected mayor we normally see. I mean, sure, the microphone's bad quality and it was peaking, but...
Mayor.
Jesus! Yeah, it's banging it hard. Did she bring her own gavel? No, look. Look, it's a spot. Look, the spot for the gavel. Or is that just a post-it note?
Mayor.
That is so fucking loud.
Go ahead, it's very inappropriate for you to do what you do.
On the night before last week's presidential election, this happened in Jonesboro.
And so you can learn to quit bullying counseling. I'm not bullying. Y'all can stop being so racist. Maybe I went.
Oh, there it is. God damn it. Look. It's a little wild to me when I see 4 black people on screen right now. The one at the podium is black, and she's claiming racism. You can't, oh my Jesus, okay. Seems like she made an attempt to flash a gun at someone she's beefing with. It's a gun! The trick, guys, please don't tell me I've done another 180 on this shit.
You're right, here we go. Let's expose what you all said behind closed doors. Little cowards.
A verbal melee and a near meltdown in a public meeting.
You know what? I have not tied y'all hands. I have executed what the charter says I'm entitled to, and that pisses you all off.
Can I do a better job at remaining calm during council meeting? I'm a work in progress in that.
She yelled, she screamed, she cussed at an employee, and all this stuff, and we can't stop it.
You're right, because the charter does not allow you all to stop it.
Weaponized our
I'm not weaponizing it, because if suing me for anything that I've done is not applicable to me. That's what y'all are pissed about.
Now, as you can see here, the police chief resigned, the assistant police chief resigned, and everyone's like, this mayor is a bully and is horrible. So with all this madness and yelling and screaming, eventually the city council says, we're just going to do a forensic audit and see how you're spending the money. The mayor says, well, then I am going to resign, and resign her position.
Well, shit. Okay, now we have some weirdness. Also, Devastator, thank you for the 10. Hit harder. Hit harder than Thor's hammer, yo. Oh my lord, all I hear is Charlie Brown adults in the mind. I know. Wah wah wah, la wah 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 wah. Okay, so. Things are getting spicy is all I know. Yeah, why did you resign? It seems resigning at that point in time seems almost to me an admission of guilt.
New tonight at 6.
Dude, at this point I'm turning around so fast I'm just hovering in the air. I have managed to unlock perpetual motion and I freaking can generate electricity for a small country.
Jonesboro mayor is announcing her resignation.
Mayor Danya Sarter delivered the news through tears during a special called meeting just hours ago.
I am so grateful for the opportunity to have been elected as the 16th mayor of the city of Jonesboro. I'm even more honored to have been the first black elected to this position. I don't quit. And this.
You just said I don't quit, but this is your quitting speech. That's not how this works, girl.
Isn't quitting. I chose.
It's literally quitting. If you are resigning from your position, you are quitting. I didn't invent the English language, but stop pissing me off with your misuse of it.
Myself.
Most of the meeting was held behind closed doors in executive session, but the mayor said the council called for a forensic audit. And while she says there have been no specific accusations of wrongdoing, she's stepping down in order to fully cooperate. Her last day will be April 19th.
So that gave the mayor about a month and a half to get everything in order. Hey, I'm out of here April 19th. But the next day, the mayor comes in and says, well, guess what? You know, I've changed my mind. I'm not going to resign.
Less than 24 hours out.
Hold on, I have to send something to Dylan. Dylan, I'm not making this joke out loud only because I think it would be mean. And I don't want to getting back to certain people, but am I right? Am I right?
After announcing she'd be stepping down, Jonesboro Mayor Danya Sarter says she's had a change of heart.
I've changed.
Yes, she's quitting, and now she's not quitting. Oh no, guys, we're gonna get stuck in a loop here. Somebody has to pull us off this ride. Can she do that? I honestly don't know. Oh
It's my
no.
mind and will not offer a resignation as mayor.
Sarter claims her resignation was unofficial.
I am still the existing mayor for the city of Jonesboro. Currently, there is no resignation that has been appropriately tendered to the council.
Sarter's abrupt.
You tendered your resignation the day before. What is happening right now? I can't understand.
Departure follows city council members voting to conduct an independent audit into her spending after allegations of misuse of city resources.
So let's understand what's going on. On one end, the city council's like, hey, you resigned. You should be gone, right? April 19th is your last day. But the mayor says, yes, I said I was going to resign April 19th.
Oh, god damn it, Dylan. Ah, fuck. God damn it. Dylan has decided to take... Oh, damn it. I'm just gonna take a fucking screenshot. Fuck you, Dylan! God damn it, lawyer. I'll show you guys what I'm crashing out over. Hold on. I think I can save this to desktop. And then I can just move this over here. Jesus. So, he has to schedule an "Are you smarter than a 5th grader" string, first of all. And the tagline, "Are you taller than a 5th grader?" Yes, I am, you dick. You fucking dick. Oh, Jesus. I don't expose DMs, first of all. I never do that.
19th, we're still in March, and I'm rescinding that resignation. So we have like a little battle of whether the mayor actually must be held to that resignation. Here's what the city attorney came to.
And according to the city attorney, state law allows the mayor to withdraw her resignation since council never voted to accept it. And during public comment last night, more than 24 citizens spoke in support of the mayor, with others holding signs along the wall with words of encouragement.
You saw the support of people coming out wanting to make sure I stay in this position. So I'm extremely appreciative of that opportunity. So it was just the opportunity of the community coming out saying, this is what we want.
All right, so we're all on the same page. We have an allegation of putting a loaded firearm at a police lieutenant, retaliation against police officers by firing them because they cooperated with the investigation. We also have alleged misuse of city resources for personal reasons. Remember, taking her family to the Beyonce concert. We also have quid pro quos. Give me money and I'll give you a job. Harassment, bullying, creating a hostile work environment, as you saw from the city council meetings, financial mismanagement, and potential misuse of city funds. And just to throw in a false accusation of stalking against one of the city council members makes this story insane-o stuff. Now, let me know how you feel in the comment section. Do you think this is all racism? Do you think this mayor is being targeted just because she's the first black female mayor? Don't forget, Tiffany Hinyard said this, and Tiffany Hinyard is in a city that's 90% black. Now, in this case, Jonesboro is 53% black. So a majority black city is trying to get rid of their black mayor because they're racist. Well, we'll see how this all plays out. What do you think is going to happen with the financial audit? Do you think that's going to...
I don't think... That's not quite fair, because apparently they were going over, and apparently the people in the city support her. The council is trying to get rid of her. Now, you can say and have critique about her her quote-unquote bedside manner, right? But there were allegations even then about her yelling and screaming and cussing and unable to do anything without cussing. Yet in her entire tirade on public, where she was clearly crashing out, she didn't cuss once. So I think honestly what's going on is there's a bunch of half-truths. This mayor might be difficult to deal with, politically speaking, and they want her out. And so they might be using a little bit of hyperbole when it comes to, oh, she's difficult and unprofessional. She cusses all the time. That's all she does. We can't stop her. We can't do anything to stop her. Okay, dude, fucking calm down. I think it's a weird one. I think that, basically the investigation's gonna need to go forward. People cooperate with the investigation and then go from there. Maybe she had a little bit of maybe a bit of a crash out and decided to quit, and then decided, after a night's sleep, you know what? No, I don't need to quit. I haven't done anything wrong. People do that all the time. I just find this quite a bit strange, and absent of any actual charges or any actual findings, in the way, here's one thing, right? And I'm gonna put on the BGM for this. So here's my thoughts. Some of these allegations should be pretty easily proven. For instance, there's an allegation from a trooper that she had asked him to take her family to a Beyonce concert using, a squad car and resources and all of that. Well, the nice thing about squad cars and Melio cars in general is they're all fucking GPS'd. You can very easily get the GPS data of that car, and you can actually collaborate a story here. And show not, this is where I picked her up, this is where I picked her up, get subpoena the fucking Soul Company, show that, yeah, in fact, her fucking family member was in this location during this time based on cellular data. There's a way that they can basically confirm all this stuff, and absent of them actually confirming all of that, I'm sorry, it does seem like they're just piling anything they can and any complaint they can to get her out of there, because she's not fun to deal with. And I understand people aren't fun to deal with, but not a reason to try and get them fired. But would you want a mayor who just quits and then says, never mind? Absolutely not, of course not. If I'm being real, having the police escort the mayor's family to a concert kinda makes sense. Yeah, clobber in time, but it's clobber, mate. Shut up. Alright, let us do this. Alright, so we now have a rare treat, so to speak. We have 2 rare treats. We're gonna be watching some Penguinz 0. Penguinz 0, we actually have 2 videos of his to watch. The first one is, this is Inexcusable. This was posted on January 19th, so just yesterday. And it looks like it has to do with some law enforcement officer in Florida, perhaps violating civil liberties. So we're gonna check it out.
I just learned of an alarming story that happened here in my own backyard,
Jesus, man, you
in
just
this
went right
beautiful
into it.
swamp I call a home, Florida. This is my swamp. I'm like Shrek if he got hit by a shrink ray and then did a fusion dance with Lord Farquaad. Born and raised here, I love this place. But it's time we be honest here, sports fans. There's some fucking problems afoot. In Miami Beach, police were dispatched to a woman's home, confronting her at her residence, all over a Facebook comment she made that they didn't really like. I'm going to show you 2 clips from this interaction here. One of them is like the director's cut, I'm assuming from the full video, like the raw upload, but it's from Washington Post, and they did their best to fuck it in the butt. Like, the quality is negative 240p, the audio is scratchy. I don't know if they downloaded it like 4 million times as a joke just to degrade the quality as much as possible. But I just wanted to give you a fair warning that this first clip I'm showing, so that way you can see the very beginning of this interaction. Then I will cut to a much cleaner upload of it. But I think it's important you at least get the beginning too, the intro.
Charged with the crime.
You're not.
Okay, so you're here to investigate a statement that I allegedly made on Facebook.
We're not 100% it's you. We gotta see you first.
If I admit that it's me or not, what does that mean?
Ma'am, you're not going to jail. We're just here to have a conversation.
You're not going to jail. Wonderful. Excuse me. Good
This seems weird shit.
Alright, nice to meet you, Detective Gino.
Nice to meet you. I am recording this. Just for the record.
You can record all you want.
As well you should.
We're just, let me see that.
Very smart.
Again, I don't know how the quality of this section
Yeah, that
got
was
so
about the
shitty when
scratchy
the rest of the uploads that happen after this are much cleaner. It feels like it's done on purpose. It looks like the fucking footage from The Dark Knight when the Joker's like torturing that guy. I don't know why it looks so bad here, but I think it's important context where the officers arrived at her doorstep to interrogate her about a Facebook comment she may or may not have left. And it's pretty clear this is an intimidation tactic and also a very clear violation of Americans' First Amendment rights.
Picture to make sure it's you. We're not sure.
Okay.
Is that a Facebook? Is that your account?
There's nothing threatening in here or calling for violence at all. This, whether you agree with her statement or not, is protected speech, and she shouldn't have to fear the fucking speech police showing up at her door, the goof troop arriving, interrogating her over
me, real
a
quick.
Facebook.
I'm so sorry, everybody. I'm going to have to do something rare. I'm going to have to go to an idol meeting in the middle of the night. Alright, I will be right back. right. That was redonkulous. Alright, I'm back. I'm misreading, right? Let me make sure. Message redacted. Oh Jesus, I apologize for my tardiness. It's way more benign. We all know what an idle meeting means. When in time. Don Hato-kun, you can't give away the secrets. You can't do that. Gosh darn it. Facebook is a private company. The First Amendment doesn't count, or am I wrong? So, here's the thing. While Facebook is a private company, Facebook can't prosecute you for shit that you say. Because the government can't prosecute you for shit that you say. Right? So, even though Facebook is a private company, this guy says something or whatever on it, the First Amendment protects him from the cops coming to him, arresting him, charging him, etc. Whether or not he did it on a private platform, on the town square, wherever. Now, obviously, protected speech is a specific type of thing. Not everything, not all types of speech are protected under the First Amendment, but a goddamn big, vast majority of speech is protected under the First Amendment. It can't be, you can't, threaten violence, foment insurrection, or, shit like that you can't do. But other than that, you have a lot of leeway in what you're allowed to say, in which the First Amendment protects you from governmental prosecution.
Comment. At first I thought this could potentially be faked, outrage bait or something, but this has been covered by
political
news
opinions should absolutely be protected. And while I will make an argument that, technically speaking, so far what I've seen isn't technically a violation of her rights, but it's goddamn near. It's like the truck is approaching the no return line on the cliff of actually violating her rights. Because the thing is it protects you from prosecution and, government action against you. The government's talking to you about it, but they haven't actually done anything. They haven't actually charged you. They haven't actually arrested you. They haven't said you're under arrest. They haven't said you're detained. They didn't say you have a warrant. Actual legal action has been taken. Should this guy be talking to you about it? Absolutely not. It gets a little bit too close to a violation, in my opinion. But I wouldn't necessarily say that this in and of itself is a violation. But they can ask you to leave their platform if they get hot and bothered about it. Yeah, that's true.
Outlets, and there's even a statement from the Miami Beach Police Department, and they are defending the action, saying the Miami Beach Police Department was made aware of a social media post containing potentially inflammatory commentary referencing a Miami Beach elected official in light of recent national concerns regarding anti-Semitism, and out of an abundance of caution, the department assessed the post for any potential safety implications. Basically, the thought police rolled in, the hall monitors came in deep, scooting in sideways in order to intimidate an American citizen named Raquel Pacheco, all because she expressed criticism on their mayor, Stephen Miner, which is this slimy bozo right here. By the way, I didn't purposefully choose an unflattering photo of Stephen. That's his Wikipedia photograph. He is just that unpleasant looking, I suppose. Now, thankfully, this story has exploded. It's causing outrage nationwide, as it should, because this is completely indefensible. And because it's gotten so big, there have been people that are trying to spin some kind of false narrative and presenting baloney as though it's facts. And it's people saying shit like, this is what happens when you elect a Democrat. Democrat Stephen Miner did this. When that's just not true, any drooling goober right now can just go to Google, activate a few neurons, type in Stephen Miner's name, and find out he's not a Democrat. Stephen Miner is actually a former Republican who switched to no party affiliation in 2018. It seems like he made that switch shortly after a scandal came to...
Okay, look. Penguinz 0, Charlie, buddy. I actually 100% agree with you. But we all know that person, that type of person who leans so far right that they will see somebody switching from the Republican Party to no party affiliation and go, oh, he's just a Democrat. He's a Democrat, but he just doesn't want to admit that's what he is. So I'm not saying that Penguin Zero is wrong here. I'm just saying, dude, you're going to get a lot of pushback from that because a lot of people, especially on the far right, not moderate right, not moderate left, right? I'm talking extremes here. But people on the extreme right will see a leaving of the Republican Party for no party affiliation, libertarian, green, doesn't matter. But they will view that as, oh, you joined the Democrats, even if factually you didn't.
Light, but regardless, he is not a Democrat, never has been. And from what I've read, to this day, prefers to be associated as more of a Republican than anything, just based on what I've been reading. But he was even a former Republican before that no party switch. So I don't know where this idea that he's a Democrat is coming from, other than just people spreading misinformation. There's a quick read that succinctly puts Stephen Miner's tumultuous career in politics on display, just lays it in front of you.
I refuse to answer questions without my lawyer present, so I really don't know how to answer that question either way.
You're, like I said,
you're in the threshold of the door. I really don't like this. I really don't like, it's like speaking as a lawyer, I really don't like this. I don't answer questions without my lawyer present. That's great. Follow it up by, step out of my fucking property, step out of this threshold. You are not allowed here. If you want to be here, and you want to be here against my consent, you better come back with a warrant signed by a judge. Otherwise, kick rocks, ass.
This is freedom of speech. This is America, right? And veteran.
And I agree with you 100%.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus Christ, this is so bad. Oh, fucking, hey, don't let... And he's like in civvies. He's not even in cop clothes. What the fuck is going on?
We're just trying to see if it's you, because if we're not talking to the right person, we want to go see who the right person is.
Okay, how can I help you?
You shouldn't be wanting to see the person.
Gee. Yeah, you shouldn't be wanting... Yeah, thank you, Charlie. You shouldn't be wanting to see the person. You shouldn't have...
in the first place. This is no threat or anything at all. This is well within the protected rights of Americans to express criticism on the mayor, if they so choose. It's such a fucking overreach here, and anybody at all in this country should find issue with this. Again, even if you disagree with her statement, even if you're the biggest Stephen Miner fan of all time, you got fucking Stephen Miner, soda drink hat, you're the biggest super fan enthusiast, this should still be a red flag for you, and you should have a huge issue with it. I believe both the police chief and Stephen Miner should 1000% lose their positions here. This is a fundamental right that they have now just fucking wiped their entire ass with here. That is inexcusable, and it's not an exaggeration to say that.
Hey, what happened? Darn it. It did the thing again. Okay, Ava, I hope you have a cell lanyard. What do you mean by that? Poor man, 1776. Nick Rekieta, soy death threats is... Nick Rekieta say death threats is free speech. Well, Nicholas Rekieta also got his fucking ass hammer spanked by his state's bar association, by the prosecution, by life, by his friends, by his peers. But I mean, should I go on? No, we just didn't crash again. Oh, God, I hope it didn't. No, we should still be here.
To give you even further context here, the woman who recorded this encounter, Raquel Pacheco, a Miami Beach political activist and veteran who previously ran for city commission and a Democratic state senate candidate. She had made a comment on Facebook that was referencing a statement from Miner about Miami Beach being a safe haven for everyone, contrasting it with New York City, which he said was intentionally removing protections for and promoting boycotts of Israeli and Jewish businesses, which she is 100% allowed to do if she so chooses, which maybe she did, maybe she didn't. We have no evidence to suggest whether or not that was actually Raquel Pacheco that posted that comment. Perhaps it was an impersonator or some dastardly ne'er-do-well who broke into her house, burglarized her, hacked her computer, and wrote that inflammatory comment to frame her. We don't know who actually wrote that comment, but whoever did, it is protected speech, and they shouldn't be being pursued by police.
So pretty much it's just a statement that was made as far as,
verbatim, it says the guy who consistently calls for the death of all Palestinians tried to shut down a theater for showing a movie that hurt his feelings and refuses to stand up for the LGBTQ community in any way. Even leaves the room when they vote and on related matters. Wants you to know that you're all welcome. Clown face, clown face, clown face. 3 days ago.
That was the post? Are you fucking kidding me? And that was, okay, so Ahmad earlier had mentioned that this reminded him of the situation where a man got arrested in Texas over, basically, what he did is he quoted Trump directly in regards to a school shooting, and the local police department came over, arrested him, and held him for over 35 days on a post in which he was just quoting Trump.
If it was you?
I'm not going to answer whether that's me or not.
Okay.
The concerning part, and not concerning for the person who's posting it, what we're just trying to prevent is somebody else getting agitated or
Oh, so you're not even agitated. Like, you could have used violent or, like, aggressive. You could have used any other thing to try and justify this clear violation of this woman's First Amendment rights, but no, you were just downright mask off saying, yeah, we don't want people to be angry about what you post online, so we came here to talk to you about it. Yeah, fuck you.
agreeing with the statement. We're not saying it's true or not.
This shouldn't matter at all whether it agitates someone, hurts their feelings, or if someone agrees with her. You're going to start, policing those kind of statements? You're going to just start going and arresting all kinds of Twitter blue check marks that are perpetually rage baiting and entire purpose is causing agitation for the sake of a paycheck? Are they next up on the chopping block as well? This is a fucking ridiculous reasoning here for it. It is just an abuse of power, and the sole purpose behind it is to try and frighten and intimidate an American citizen into shutting her mouth and being silent and not expressing thoughts because there might be some repercussions if you say mean things about the mayor, Stephen Miner,
That's
here.
fucking loud.
That's bad.
Understood.
That guy who consistently calls for the death of all Palestinians, that can probably incite somebody to do something radical. That's all we're here to talk about.
Well, maybe the issue is the person who is calling for the death of all Palestinians. Maybe that's an issue. Maybe somebody shouldn't be calling for the death of an entire people. That seems a bit extreme to me. Just because I am bringing attention to what somebody else has done doesn't mean that I myself am making threats.
And we wanted to get your side. If it was you that posted that, I would think to refrain from posting things like that because that could get something
I appreciate your concern. I appreciate you coming out here.
Okay,
that's it.
That is it. Okay. I'm going to maintain my amendment rights to not answer the question about whether that's it. I hope that's understandable.
All right, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Alright, head on out.
You as
What
well.
the
Thank you.
fuck?
Take care.
Goodbye, gentlemen. Thanks for the unsolicited advice on what an American citizen can and cannot post freely online with their own thoughts. That's great. Thank you, Speech Police. Wonderful. Anyway, this shit is very concerning, especially as a resident of Florida, and I hope this kind of practice doesn't become normalized. That's really about it. See ya.
Alright, there we go. Okay, calm down, fat electrician. We'll get to you in a minute. But there you go, that is that situation, and I have to agree with him. That's completely inexcusable. That cop had no business being there, talking to her about that post. That's just fucking, that's insanity is what that is. Now then, we're gonna go ahead and move right along because we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, no. We have 4 more videos. Yeah, that's right. We have 4 more videos and an hour in 30-ish minutes to get through them. So, we're gonna have to do this fast. Alright, so this next one is also by Charlie. They're still refusing to release Epstein files. This is posted 2 days ago, and I'm pretty sure this is Charlie talking about the fact that the DOJ has blocked 2 authors of the Epstein Transparency Act, including Thomas Massey, filed with a federal judge a motion to appoint a special overseer to ensure that the Department of Justice appropriately abides by the wording of the law and releases the Epstein files in full. The DOJ responded with their own motion, attempting to block the motion of an appointment of a special overseer, citing the fact that no court can force them to release the Epstein files. So we are seeing blatant obstruction of federal law passed unanimously in the Senate and passed by every single member of the House of Representatives, excluding one person. Signed into law by Trump himself, Pam Bondi and the Department of Justice is flagrantly ignoring the law and saying to the courts, to their faces, you can't make us do this. You have a good one, GP Ravenfire.
Look closely in the palm of my hand. To the untrained eye, it may appear empty, but you have to use your third eye to see the truth. What lays before you in the palm of my hand, my little greasy bare paws, are the Epstein files. Nothing. It's imaginary, because this administration still refuses to actually comply with the law. Even when they did release like their couple of batches of Epstein files, they also didn't comply with the law because they redacted names that weren't victims, which has been proven beyond a shadow of a doubt. And now it's been, what, a month past deadline, and they are still kicking the can down the road. And now, like a bucking bronco, they're putting up a real fight where now the DOJ is basically saying in their most recent filing that no court can order them to release these Epstein files. They can't force the release. They're basically gloating that they're kind of above the law, is the impression I get from reading through this. Now, a lot of it's legalese, so a bit of it's a bit above my pay grade, but from everything I've read from the experts who have went through this filing, this is the DOJ once again refusing to cooperate and is now just kind of outright saying that no one can really force them to do this. It's fucking sickening. What is supposed to be the most transparent administration in American history seems to have a real issue with transparency when it comes to the Epstein files for some fucking reason. Really makes you think, doesn't it? And speaking of thinking, I want to turn my attention to someone who hasn't had a thought in years. Pam Bondi. She farted out a super strong statement on Twitter that's no nonsense. A reminder to all those in Minnesota, no one is above the law.
Says Attorney General Pamela Bondi, who is currently in violation of a federal law.
Mic drop moment. Literal chills. Scam Bondi here is alting. She's really laying it all on the table. But, let's be honest here, Pam. That's not exactly true now, is it? Because there are clearly people who are above the law. It's anyone that's associated with Jeffrey Epstein and the client list. Really, Pamela, it kind of makes me wonder if this could be an actual defense strategy people could employ. You know, like just claiming that they're on the Jeffrey Epstein client list. I wonder if that would just give them full immunity. Because I imagine it'd be like activating God mode in a video game, because this administration, they won't pursue shit if that's the case.
Yeah, no,
so saying that you're on the Jeffrey Epstein client list, that's like Harry Potter putting on the...
I laugh because if I don't laugh, I'll cry.
Invisibility cloak. Or Bilbo Baggins putting on the fucking One Ring. Just vanish out of this administration.
Why does it keep doing that? Why?
Eyes, but not only that, not only do you go invisible, they will jump on a live fucking grenade and do everything in their power to protect you. So, I don't know, I feel like that Ford worker that called Trump a pedophile protector was really onto something there, because there's a lot of pedophile protecting going on every single fucking day from this administration. How else can you possibly explain their reluctance to release the Epstein files and how hard they fight to stop it from coming. And since this administration won't do it, then we have to rely on some real heroes amongst us. These fucking clowns, these goddamn freaks that were given the Epstein Phase 1 binders. These online influencers were apparently holding the Epstein files, smiling and giddy, posing like it's the goddamn prom photos with the Epstein files, and since then, crickets. Why don't you guys release the files? You got the binders, right? Since the government won't be transparent, why don't you guys do it? You're supposed to be like fighting for the American people and shit, right? That's what you pretend to do online. You had the Epstein files, apparently. Why don't you just put it out there?
Why don't you
just
release
food for thought. I don't know. Now, of course, you'd have to be on the crack pipe to think any of those frauds actually got the Epstein files. I bet in those binders were just pictures of Trump's butthole just goatseeing or something. They clearly didn't get anything, and they are clearly just staying silent about all of this. I haven't seen any of them come forward with their binders since then, so I'm led to believe that they didn't actually get anything at all, and this was just a photo shoot. That's all. Nothing else. Now, back to the main topic here with the most recent filing where the DOJ is outright taking a victory lap about how untouchable they are and how they're really just not able to be forced to release the Epstein files. Let's dive into what's happened here, the most recent news. Yesterday, the DOJ moved to block the appointment of an independent monitor or special master to oversee the release of Epstein-related records in the Maxwell case, arguing that no federal court has the authority to compel such disclosures. It's 6 pages, and you can look at it yourself if you want to really get into the nitty-gritty of it, which I honestly do recommend because there are some eyebrow-raising statements in there. In a nutshell, though, they are trying every trick in the book to weasel their way out of actually having to comply with the Epstein.
God damn it. Why does not fucking... Okay, so, chat, on the to-do list, I'm going to make a video, where I'm reading through that 6-page response, from the Department of Justice. Sadly, like most people, he doesn't have a reference to... You can go check it out yourself. You can also go find it yourself, apparently. Look, this is a critique that I have, which is why in my description I have every video that I look at, every document I look at, whatever. It's usually linked in the description down below. There's not a lot of creators who do that, though, and now I'm gonna have to hunt it down myself, which is, you know, it's not horribly hard. It's just like, I could have saved some time, Charlie, buddy.
Epstein Files Transparency Act. They're basically arguing that the forced production of the so-called Epstein files amounts to an improper attempt to reopen a concluded criminal case and to create a form of judicial oversight that Congress itself did not authorize. There's a lot to digest in there in only 6 pages. They really give you a lot to fucking suck on, and they're not exactly subtle about it. There's even mentions of the representatives that have led for the passage of this Epstein Files Transparency Act, where they're calling into question, like, if they even had, like, the gusto to do so. At least that's how it reads to me, where they're questioning the standing that they have in order to even do something like this. In the actual filing, it really seems like they just started pissing on them as, like, saying they're not big enough to do this. Like, it felt like the actual filing was like, these guys are fucking nobodies and don't have the standing for it. But anyway, they asked the court to appoint a special master or independent monitor to compel DOJ compliance with the act, which the DOJ flatly opposes. To go a bit further, they argue that even if the court were inclined to entertain the request, it could not do so constitutionally. This is in regards to some of the things from the Epstein Transparency Act, and they assert that the representatives here they haven't suffered a concrete, particularized injury, and the Epstein Files Transparency Act does not create an individual right to obtain information, unlike the Freedom of Information Act, nor does the act authorize lawmakers or anyone else to sue the DOJ for alleged non-compliance. When I read that, I let out an involuntary noise of disgust, because that's just being very blatant and open about it. Like, yeah, if we don't comply, you can't do anything about it, dork. You fucking dweebs. Go kick rocks, pussy. If we don't comply, you can't sue us or anything. To harken back to Scam Bondi, it really does feel like there are some people above the law, I'm gonna be honest with you. Despite what your tweet is boldly stating, I do think there are some people above the law, Pam, and they might be right under your nose. Again, I'm kind of jumping around here. I recommend reading the whole thing, but in closing, prosecutors maintain that the act provides no cause of action at all. Where Congress has not explicitly authorized judicial enforcement, federal courts are barred from inventing one. As the DOJ puts it, courts cannot reach out to award remedies where neither the Constitution nor a statute authorize them. In short, the government's filing makes clear that absent new legislation explicitly authorizing court enforcement, the DOJ believes no court can force it to produce the Epstein files, regardless of public pressure or congressional intent. Real quick, to briefly tie this back to good old Scam Bondi, since she wants to bring up Minnesota, there's this big thing, this big talking point about comply. Well, why does compliance only apply to American citizens? Why doesn't it apply to the DOJ as well, who is not complying with the law? They are also supposed to be governed by the law.
But it wasn't deleted by a mod. Sadly, Automod seems just to be fucking aggressive this stream. Hold on real quick, just checking a couple. Okay.
Law 2, according to Pam, no one's above the law, so why aren't they complying with it? They have been routinely violating the protocol set in the law with the Epstein Files Transparency Act. They are not complying with it, and in this most recent filing, they are even openly saying, if we don't comply with it, you can't sue us or anything. They are even saying in their own statement about non-compliance, why would they even be teasing that notion of non-compliance?
Yeah.
Why won't they just comply? Why are the administrative authorities not talking about the DOJ's reluctance to comply with the law? I don't know, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Pam, it feels like some people are above the law, doesn't it? I don't know, I'm just getting a whiff of that for some reason. Anyway, that's your most recent Epstein Files update. It's not looking like it's ever actually going to lead to anyone getting arrested in regards to the Epstein client list. Who would have seen that coming?
Ridiculous.
Unthinkable that this administration wouldn't be pursuing action against those evil, fucking, heinous villains in the Epstein client list. It's so odd that they wouldn't be transparent in releasing these files. One of the main things Trump ran on was about releasing these Epstein files. So many in his supporter base were very excited to see that happen, and now it's not happening, and they're fighting tooth and nail every step of the way over the last year to prevent this from happening. And now, even though there's an actual act, a law put into place that they're supposed to follow,
I just say, I don't trust Penguinz 0, and he has a lot. Well, regardless of his behavior, he's reporting on facts right here. Don't worry, you can keep an eye on my channel. Probably tomorrow, I will upload my reading. Actually, yeah, I will upload my reading of the Department of Justice, literally saying that no court can enforce them, can force them to release the Epstein files. He's like, you can be distrustful of him, but right now he's just reporting on very easily verifiable fact. Don't let your bias get in the way of the information that's being presented to you.
to release them. They're still not doing it and are now even just saying, yeah, maybe we won't. No courts can really make us do that. And if we don't do that, you can't sue us for it either. I feel like anyone should have a big problem with that. I feel like any sane, sensible person should immediately view this as the biggest possible red fucking flag. And it seems to me that that Ford worker that called Trump a pedophile protector to his face, which elicited a finger and a fuck you from the big man in charge, it really seems like that pedophile protector nomenclature feels accurate for Trump in this administration,
at least so
based
far.
on all available information here for how hard they don't want these Epstein files to come out. Feels like they're doing a lot
It's
of pedophile
ridiculous is
protecting.
what it is.
That's really about it. So, yeah.
Yes, the time the USS...
Hold on, calm down, calm down. Fat Electrician, I don't know why you keep butting your head. I know I have something of yours to look at, but why do you keep coming at me, buddy? Alright, so cool, we gotta get through this fast. We're actually probably gonna no. Yeah, it's gonna just be these two now. And I'm going to put this one on 1.25 speed. This next video is 70 times Mother Nature got angry on camera. It's posted 3 days ago by a creator named Unsorted. So without further ado, let's see Mother Nature get Actually, you know what? Shit. Yeah, no, okay. I get it. It's fine. I had to do normal quality, normal playback because this is wind and weather and shit like that, and we'll get a full perspective if I have it on a increased thing.
It's unbelievable. You got this tractor trailer that's coming. Tractor trailer right here.
Holy shit.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Trailer. Oh.
What? Oh shit. Okay.
That's an 18-wheeler trailer.
No. Correction. That was an 18-wheeler trailer. That ain't no 18-wheeler trailer no mo. That is the remains of one. What looks like lodged into your fucking carport.
Faster.
Right. Oh, there goes the umbrella.
Oh. There's that. There's that.
I closed it.
Oh shit. Oh, what is that? I don't like the. Oh, fuck. Oh my god. Okay, so now I got hail. Alright, so you must be. Oh, Jesus Christ. You're like in the bear's cage or something. You honestly, you shouldn't be recording. You shouldn't be recording with where you are. With how strong those winds are. Now it's a little less windy, but now it's super haily. I'm just worried that you're in a supercell and there's a tornado like right around the corner.
I love you. Oh, there goes the trees. Ah!
Okay. Oh, okay, that's flooding. Oh my god, it's taking out the bridge. Holy shit. Oh my god, it just took the fucking bridge. But Mother Nature, I was using that. Oh shit. Oh, that's you guys have to go. You gotta go. Get out of there. Get out of there. No, you're. Oh, Jesus Christ. You're way too close to that. You were way too close to that. That's a lot of moving. That's. Oh, Jesus. Look, that's all. Look, it looks like water. It's not. It's literally soil and dirt and sand, and they're standing right by it. And I wouldn't be, because if that takes you, you're not getting out of that. Fucking maniacs! Holy, what the hell?
Run!
Oh shit! Are they in Yellowstone? Is that Yellowstone? Are they dealing with an eruption? What in the fuck? This has got... Wow. Okay, that's gotta be Yellowstone. Yo, Old Faithful is backed up. That's a Taco Bell special, no! I died. Okay. Get the fuck out of there, guys! You're gonna die! Get on out of there! Jesus! Yeah, why are you guys just walking away from it?
She ran to the other side. Holy
I can't say I have.
Tourists
So what are you
visiting
guys-
Washington State.
No. What are you doing? This looks like a delicate glacier. They could collapse any minute. None of you should be in the shade of this thing. This thing could kill you.
Are often drawn to these ice caves, but their beauty hides a real danger.
Yeah, it's gonna collapse. There it is. Yeah, see, it's you guys are too close. Idiots. Holy crap! Jesus.
Passengers
Oh,
on this
okay.
ferry didn't get to watch the storm for long because they suddenly found themselves much closer to Germany than they expected. That day, the waves reached 4 meters in height.
Oh shit! Oh my god! Time to go! Oh my god, you guys ran aground! Oh my god, they ran aground! Guys, look right at look. Okay, so for those who don't know my lore, when I was 16 years old, I emancipated, and while studying under an attorney for 18 hours a week, so I could take my bar exam, I lived on a sailboat. I lived on a sailboat most of my adult life and most of my teenage life. You can see the dock right there. There's a dock right there, the outline of a dock right there. They just ran the fuck aground. They literally ran aground.
Passengers on this ferry didn't get.
So probably what happened is with the wave action that was happening, it actually got it so low that they basically nosedived partially into the ground, and that's why they weren't all immediately swept away, because the water didn't have much to rise.
To watch the storm for long because they suddenly found themselves much closer to Germany than they expected. That day, the waves reached 4 meters in height.
Yeah, look, you can see the land. It's right there. And boom, you're in. I could see the land. Yeah, they're right there. They're literally right there. Well, land go and get your stuff.
The couple was traveling through North Carolina when Hurricane Helene hit. They managed to escape a
Hurricane
devastating
Helene.
landslide triggered by the storm.
Helene. A landslide? Let's see it. Holy shit! Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, you guys. Oh, that's a lot of rotation. That is way... But that is way too much rotation. Oh, okay. These guys are in danger. Oh yeah, this is getting spicy. Oh shit, oh well, there goes baby Donnie's fucking playground. Okay, it looks like it's going to the field, so that's good. I thought so too, but it looks like he went to the side of them. A defensively, fast spin usually means it's small. But that's not always the case. You can ask Meteoric. For those who don't know, Meteoric is someone who's a bit of a scientist in the sense that he's a meteorologist. So he is our weather guy. And trust me, there's some mighty fucking impressive formations, super fast rotation, and oh my god, that fucking funnel is a mile wide and it's fucking spinning that fast. Generally speaking, I would say fast spinning means it's small, but it's there are exceptions to that rule. I mean, I'm surprised any of that's still standing. Doesn't look particularly well put together. Oh, here it comes. Oh, you're moving it? I like fucking move it, move it. Yeah, like cool? Move it. Oh, this is, oh. Oh my god, what in the fuck? That was kind of what is that noise? Oh my god! Oh Jesus Christ! I would back up. I would back up. I would fucking back up. Why did you just stop it? Thank you, back up. You backed up way too late, but at least you backed up. Jesus. Oh, lightning, I bet. There it is! Wow! Oh my god, that was close. I'm sorry, let's go back frame by frame there. Let us see that real quick. Oh, there it is. Oh, Jesus! Oh my fucking god! Oh, dear, oh my god, oh my god! Get back in the house. Just get the fuck back in the house. Yeah, holy shit. Oh, this is another wedding. Oh my god! Oh, that tree fucking exploded! I didn't mean to laugh, but Jesus! Look at this fucking thing! Oh my god, it blew up her fucking... Oh my god, okay, so it's right there. There's her... It looks like her driveway. But... Boom, there's the lightning strike, and already, look, the branches and shit move. Boom, second frame, she's already reacted. Oh my god, look, what is coming for you? And, oh wow, wow, look at that. It actually took out her fucking, porch light. Oh my god, holy shit. Yeah, get in there, get in there. God damn. Oh, landslide. No, rock slide. Oh, there it goes. Oh my god! I didn't expect part of the mountain to come up. Oh, okay, again, get away from that. Get away from that, that is so dangerous.
What's his name about? Тракторист вовремя успел.
Ой, выебенчик подохался. Должны оба брать нам куда.
Oh shit, you're too close. Yeah, you hear him? Did you hear him rev up that engine? That was a, oh shit, I'm too close and I'm going too slow fucking rev. Listen to this. You'll hear the change in pitch. Yeah, what? You fucking dummy. Hey, get the fuck out of there, you idiots! That's all coming for you! Oh no! Oh, this is in North Carolina. Yeah, I've seen this. Really sad. They'd already been evacuated though. love that so much. Look at this fucking torrent of rain coming down. Don't let your camera get wet. Yeah, I'm gonna worry about that when it looks like our lives are being swept away by the fucking water.
It's hitting our building.
Yeah, it just took your fucking car.
Oh my god!
Yep.
Oh, it left.
You guys need to get out of there. You need to get out of there. What in the... Okay, so... I appreciate the effort, but you cannot combine the architectural might of the Leaning Tower of Pisa with the Statue of Liberty. It just doesn't work. This is what you get.
Olha lá, guria desesperada.
Oh, it's gonna fall.
Querendo tirar o carro dele.
Yep, there. Oh, it's going. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
Ai, caiu.
Oh, and there she goes.
E não caiu no carro.
What the fuck was that? Was that a boulder? This is Brazil. No, this is China. This is not AI. Oh, that's not good. Yes, back away from that. Oh my god, it's caused a cascade. Run, get out of there. What the fuck? Oh my god!
It's hard to believe,
Yeah, see, way
but
too
these
close.
damages in Taiwan were caused by prolonged
Taiwan.
rainfall. 9 cars were hit by falling rocks, but thankfully, no one was hurt.
Dude, she got so close. Look at this. I'm sorry, look at this. Look, it's coming right at her. Oh my god, she's literally... Oh, that one looks like it's gonna hit her. Nope, barely. Look, oh my god, you got close to death, girl. Like, legitimately. You almost fucking died. Stop trying to get the glamour shot at the risk of your own demise, please.
It's hard to believe, but these damages in Taiwan were caused by prolonged rainfall. 9 cars were hit by falling rocks, but thankfully, no one was hurt.
Hey, Miss Sila, how's it going? I'm not a Butters impersonator. Oh shit, a tree tried to kill him. Oh, rock slide. I'm sure it's gonna be a rock slide. Yep, here it comes. Jesus. God, that is so fucking... I cannot imagine. And look, it's even got the look of that, guys, chat. It even has the fucking... The steel mesh met thing that they put on, rock slide, prone areas. Didn't do shit. Oh, they actually got hit. That was some damage.
Unbelievable.
I enjoyed that Eva Stoner will say she's not a Butters. I hate you all. Jesus Christ. Oh, that doesn't look good at all. I saw this once in Studio Ghibli. It's when the girl tried to clean the river spoon. Is that a fucking car? Oh my god. It's just a truck. Oh, this isn't good. Oh, it's coming the whole fucking side. You guys need to leave. You guys need to get out of there. Oh, that's pretty windy. Jesus. What? Yep, okay.
Oh my!
In
You guys need to let that
Alaska,
go.
a cruise ship came dangerously close to disaster. A gust of wind tore a vessel from its mooring and pushed it away from the dock. The captain quickly regained control. No one was hurt, and the ship wasn't damaged.
Let's go. Let's get out of here. Let's go. Go. Let's go.
Look, I really think we shouldn't have cruise ships that are this big. I don't think we should have them this big. There is saving it, you can, and it sounds like the captain did, but just don't build them smaller, please.
Look, it's still pulling away.
These passengers were on a ferry headed to Dublin and got to witness the full force of Storm Hercules along the way.
Uh-oh. Holy shit! My God, they're laughing. You're laughing while staring out of a structural weakness of the fucking ship. Like, yeah, it might be reinforced glass, but if that shit goes, you're dead. Instantaneously.
You could say he barely squeaked by, because moments later, the storm went wild.
Oh yeah, oh my God, look at it spread! Ain't no fucking way. Oh shit, oh my God, okay. We're going.
A sudden flood turned this parking lot into a water park. Many
Ew,
drivers couldn't even
no.
find their cars where they had left them.
Yeah, no, oh, Jesus Christ. That's not good.
In 2010, Pakistan experienced the most intense monsoon rains in 80 years. The flooding destroyed at least 45 bridges and wiped out more than 15,000 buildings.
Jesus! Wow, that's a lot of destruction. You'd be surprised how often cars get struck by lightning while driving. Probably another lightning one. Oh, Jesus, what the fuck? Yeah, get back in there. Damn. And this is probably another rock slide. Oh, get in the tunnel, get in the tunnel! Oh, you lucky son of a bitch! Damn! Back up, back up, back up, back up, back up. Oh no. I really don't like the framing of this one. Is this gonna go out right here? Oh no. Wow, that guy almost got blasted off. Okay, look, I'm kind of getting tired of the, Yeah, let's try this one now. I'm sorry, I'm just like, okay, yeah, the brown falls. I get it.
Because a rogue wave formed right in front of them. These waves are not only destructive, but also completely unpredictable.
Oh yeah, rogue waves are terrifying. Yeah, I see it. Oh shit. Damn, it formed like right under them. Oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. Holy shit. Yeah, let's play that. It was too close game.
Yeah, you're breaking his bumper.
Damn, this oh my god. Yeah, I've encountered a couple road waves. They're never fun. Oh my god, that guy barely fucking survived with his life. Okay, this looks kind of funny. Oh, whoa. Damn.
Holy. Oh my god.
Oh, that looks like a tornado.
In May 2012, a powerful tornado hit Tsukuba. Gusts of up to 70 kilometers per hour ripped off roofs, flipped cars, and snapped power lines. Nearly 500 buildings were damaged, and about 3,000 residents lost power. And for a few minutes, the city turned into complete chaos.
They're probably not used to,
Ahora, kireta.
They're probably not used to twisters. Yeah, one of them tornadoes. Oh, was that fire? Don't be doing that now. Get on out here. Oh, oh shit. Oh my god. He's trying. Okay. Look, this says 70 times Mother Nature got angry on camera. That's fireworks. Someone's fireworks are going off in their garage. There's nothing about nature. That's happening here. What in the... Oh, hey, avalanche!
I'm still alive. Gee, you made it. Come on.
You made it, my god.
Oh my god.
I mean, you're right, she was. That's kind of fun. It's nice fun. Wow, okay, this is the day. Where's the sweeper? What's going on? Oh shit, everyone's running. What are we running from? Is it Godzilla? Oh, it's a super windy? Oh, it's an earthquake. It's an earthquake. Well, there go all my trees. Oh, guys, run! Look at this guy. Look, this guy right here. He doesn't give a shit. He just got off of work. He doesn't have time for this. Look, if the river's gonna take him, just let it take him. Oh, there he goes. You guys gotta stop. Why are you standing right next to it? It's going to widen and then sweep. What are you? God, people are so dumb. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's gross. Oh, the iceberg flipped. That was probably pretty wild.
There's the
tunnel. Ew. Oh no. Right, we should be back. We ended up crashing again.
Yeah, it's a bit wet here. It's a waterfall.
Oh shit. That's just not a good time.
Да еду я, что ты кричишь?
The fuck, did a meteor land here? What the hell? Oh, that was too cool.
Oh my god, oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's not good at all.
Oh. Holy Lolo. Holy.
peligroso. Miren. Es nada más y nada menos que aquí en la 24 de junio.
Alright, look, we're pretty much done. Alright, cool. There we go. Now we have one more to react to. And this one I am going to put on 125 speed because we are rapidly approaching me having to switch over to Kick so we can continue our Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood watch-along with Mama Oko. So, this one is called German Tanks versus American Cropduster. The Story of Bazooka Charlie by the Fat Electrician. Now, for those who don't know, I have actually talked about Bazooka Charlie quite a few times. I have told his story a number of times on stream before. Bazooka Charlie and Mad Jack Churchill are the two big stories that I know of, like veterans who are fucking crazy, right? But this one is on Bazooka Charlie. Quick little rundown on Bazooka Charlie. This motherfucker was getting pissed off at these German tanks. So what he did is he affixed 6 total bazookas onto the wings of his Cropduster / scouting plane. He attached these to a remote detonator, where he would basically fly over a German tank, dive bomb on it directly above, get within 100 fucking meters, and then push the button to let 2 of the fucking rockets go and blow up the tank from above. This is one of the most insane. We are watching Brotherhood, Pahil, which if you check out, actually here, I'll just do this real quick. Hold on, I'll give you this. Yeah, no, the Bazooka, look, Bazooka Charlie is the guy who basically ended up creating the Strike Fighter plane before the Strike Fighter, before ground fighting planes were ever a fucking thing to be considered. You know, it's not a bomber, it's not a fighter, it's a, what do they call them? Prep plane, so double turn out of that dive. Yes, exactly. Fahil, I like your Rule 34 artworks. Oh my, do we have more than one 34 artist in here? Because I know Cerberus is one too. Alright, anyway, let's get into it.
Razak from Starship Troopers, one of my favorite characters in cinematic history, the history and philosophy teacher that goes into combat when war starts and leads his former students. Well, I found the real-life version, and it's even cooler than the movie. Today we're talking about Charles Carpenter. The Germans referred to him as the Mad Major, while his men knew him as Bazooka Charlie. A 29-year-old history teacher from Moline, Illinois, who would join the United States Army Air Corps after Pearl Harbor was attacked, and his younger brother, who was a fighter pilot in the Philippines, was captured by the Japanese. Through a series of events, he would become one of the United States Army's first liaison pilots, a new experimental program.
Hold on. There we go. Okay, this is actually a perfect view of this fucking plane setup that he had. Okay, so check this out. 1, 2, 3. He had 3 bazookas affixed under his under the wing of each plane. These had a fucking line that had led to a detonator in here. This fucking Cropduster is the first fucking tank buster because they didn't really have anything that could go up direct a head-to-head against the tank. They knew that the tops were weak, but they couldn't really do anything. And they didn't have fighter planes actually doing this. This guy pretty much is the guy who's like, hey, I got an idea. Exactly. It's straight up American ingenuity.
These men were tasked with flying the L4 Grasshopper, basically a glorified Cropduster with fabric wings and what amounts to a lawnmower blade sticking out of the front. They would fly out over the battlefield and use their altitude to spot enemy positions and call in accurate artillery fire. While this job was extremely valuable, dangerous, and did have a humongous impact on the battlefield, it didn't have the direct impact that Charles Carpenter wanted. So Carpenter decided he was going to mount 6 bazookas on the wings of his Cropduster and begin flying combat sorties, quite literally dive-bombing German tanks. He would later perfect this technique and use it to sway the entire Battle of Arikor, which is the largest tank battle on the Western Front in all of World War II. And we're going to get into everything right after a word from our sponsor. This video video is brought to you by World of Warship Legends, the first and probably only video game I'm ever going to be in. Good game, everyone. That was a great battle. Now, previously, I was only available on PC, but to celebrate the Navy's 250th birthday, I am now available on consoles, and you're going to unlock me, the battleship, the USS Texas with an American flag paint job, and a bunch of other freebies. And that deal is available for absolutely everybody, even if you already play, from now until November 28th, 2025. And if you're new to the game, you're going to get a bunch of extra freebies on top of that. The game is free, it's pretty easy to play, and it's one of the only games that I actually do play. You get to captain your own ship in naval warfare, being historically accurate ships like the USS Texas, the USS Iowa, or the USS Enterprise. And it's not all just American ships. You could be other historic ships from different nations. You could be the Japanese Yamato. You could be the German Bismarck. I mean, I don't know why you would. They're both at the bottom of the ocean right now, which seems like a bad strategy if you want to win, but whatever. You do you. And it's not just influencers like me that you can unlock to be the captains of your ship. You can unlock real captains from history. You can actually have Willis Ching Lee be the captain of the USS Washington or any other ship that you want. So yeah, go check out World of Warships. Use my link down below. If you use it before November 28th, you're going to unlock the battleship, the USS Texas with an American flag paint job, and a bunch of other freebies. Let's get back to the video.
All right.
Our story begins August 29th, 1912. Charles Carpenter is born. He is the oldest of 6 kids. He has 2 brothers and 3 sisters. He grows up in Illinois, and like pretty much every other World War II hero we talk about, he grows up dirt poor. You guys know the drill. Unfortunately, the young Charles's dad was not that great of a guy. He had an alcohol problem. He had a gambling problem, and we don't really know how old Charles was when this happened, but in his childhood, his dad would end up losing their 1,000-acre farm in a gambling game, and he would walk out of their lives forever, abandoning his family, his wife, and all 6 kids. Now, something like that happening would absolutely destroy
Fuck you, dude. God, you gambled away the farm, and then you just left. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Most people, but Charles Carpenter is the main character, and without a positive male role model in his life, he turns to books. He turns to literature and reads all the great books he can find. And that becomes his positive male role model. That's how he learns how to be a man. And it works. He's super hardworking, he's very intelligent, does great in school, and he's a 3-sport athlete playing football, basketball, and track. Quote, "My creed, I have resolved to exert all of my efforts towards being a nobler and stronger fellow, a gentleman, a scholar, a friend, and a real man. To the best of my ability, I will ever strive for self-control, self-improvement, freedom, wisdom, courage, generosity, truth, and the true nobility before God and men. I will be better. Charles Carpenter." Okay, he wrote that at 17 years old after his dad had lost everything and abandoned him and his family. Okay, the dude knew he was the main character all along. For high school, he gets a full-ride scholarship to Roosevelt Military Academy, and then after that, he gets a full-ride scholarship to Center College in Kentucky, both for football and track. While he's there, he joins the Civilian Training Corps, which is kind of like an old version of ROTC, where you get to become a military officer when you do classes during college. Basically, he has to go off to 2 weeks of training every summer, all 4 years of college, and then once he graduates from college and finishes the program, he's offered a spot as a second lieutenant in the Army Reserves as a pilot. So that's what he does. He goes off to college, studies history, studies philosophy, decides he wants to be a history teacher. He wants to be able to go into a classroom full of kids and find the kids that are like him and be their strong male role model that he never had. And that's what he does for years. And when he's not teaching history, he's a flight instructor. But being the history guy, he can also kind of see the future, because history is the best predictor of the future. And he sees all the tensions and everything rising in Europe. And in his personal journal in the 1930s, he would write, and I quote, "Life is far crueler than death, and nations are feverishly preparing to slaughter again." So he knew that world.
Look, as somebody who knows history, I sadly have a feeling, a hunch, a pit in my stomach that this statement is once again relevant.
He knew that World War II was coming, probably a lot sooner than most other people did, but he's one man. He's a history teacher in Moline, Illinois. What can he do? So he just keeps living his life. He keeps teaching history in the day, keeps teaching pilots at night, and then on the weekends, he would go to the next town over to go to the dance hall to try to find a wife, a big dance hall called the Coliseum. One night at the Coliseum, he picks a lovely young lady out of the crowd. Elda, also known as Bunny, asked her to dance. They dance all night. They have a great time. She's awestruck that this perfect 10 of a man, he's got a job, he's athletic, he's handsome, is hitting on her. And at the end of the night, he asks her, "Hey, could I take you out on a real date?" And she wasn't very confident, and she panics, and she's like, I have a date with my girlfriend scheduled for that night already. So Charles Carpenter's like, "Oh, okay, I guess," and that was the end of it. Bunny spends the next weeks and months just kicking herself in her own ass for shooting down this perfect 10 of a man, and then eventually, after a couple of months, they run into each other at the Coliseum again. They dance all night, have a great time, and Charles Carpenter shoots his shot again. They go out on a date, and 3 months later, they were married. According to Bunny, and I quote, "We were so in love, we couldn't eat." Fast forward, Charles Carpenter is living the American dream. Despite his rough childhood, he's college educated, he's a high school history teacher, living his dream job, he's happily married, his wife is pregnant with their first child, and then in 1941, Japan attacks Pearl Harbor. And at essentially the same time, they also attack the Philippines, where his brother, the fighter pilot, is currently stationed, and they destroy his brother's plane in the opening attack. His brother's now a POW, all of his former students are getting drafted and going off to war, and he could probably get away from the draft. Being at home as a teacher is an important job. He could probably get an exemption, but that's not the man that Charles Carpenter is, so he volunteers to go off and joins the military too at 29 years old. Now, because Carpenter's already college educated, he's already an Army officer, he's already a flight instructor, the Army determines they're not going to send him off into combat. They're going to send him to Miami, where he's going to be an instructor and teach other people how to be officers and how to fly planes. And while that might be a dream job to most people, being able to stay stateside, safe, healthy, happy, it's not really what Carpenter wanted, but that's what the Army told him to do, so he's going to do it to the best of his ability. So in early 1942, he gets in his car in Illinois and drives all the way to Miami, and the road trip there is absolutely crazy. Pearl Harbor just happened, and they're already rationing gasoline, they're rationing rubber for tires, they're rationing absolutely everything. At one point, Charles picks up a hitchhiker, and that hitchhiker explains to him that he's a merchant marine and his ship had been sunk by a German U-boat, and he's trying to make his way home to his parents because his parents think that he's dead. And the entire thing is just surreal to him because he's read and studied so much history, and he realizes during this road trip that he's now living through history. So he gets to Miami, starts doing his job, and it's not his thing. I mean, he's good at it. He can train people how to do stuff. He's a teacher. He knows how to teach. He knows what he's talking about, but he just feels wrong about the fact that he's teaching somebody how to go off and fight a war when he's never gone off and fought a war himself. So he decides that's what he needs to do. The problem is he's too valuable where he's at. They're not going to let him just change his orders and go join a normal aviation unit and abandon this teaching job because he's the best man for that job.
This is one of the big things that set us apart from many different countries, because many different countries in war, what they would do is they would send their best out and they would just keep sending their best out. They wouldn't do what we would do, where we would find somebody who is the best, we would take them out of the front lines, and we would have that person teach the next batch of recruits. That way everybody in our next batch of recruits is as good as the guy who's fucking hot shitting the good, the guy everyone's talking about. This is part of why Japan was on a losing streak before we ultimately decided to deploy the nuclear option.
The only way he's going to get out of these teaching orders is if he volunteers for something so dangerous that it's a volunteer-only basis, and he does exactly that. He volunteers to be a glider pilot. Okay, what is a glider? They were used on D-Day. They're a really big deal. Not a lot of people have heard about them. It's basically a giant kite that's shaped like a plane. Ken, I know what you're thinking. Why on earth wouldn't you just, I don't know, fly another plane into combat? Why are you going to tow a plane-sized kite behind you? Well, you got to remember it's World War II. Raw materials are scarce. They're rationing everything. We can't make planes fast enough. We need more planes. More planes isn't an option, so this is the next best thing, to make a giant kite-shaped plane and tow it behind a C-47 into combat, and then cut the ropes, and they're gonna glide into the battlefield and have a controlled crash landing. And I think we can all agree, pretty crazy proposition for a military job, so obviously not a ton of volunteers, so when Charles Carpenter does volunteer, he gets accepted pretty much immediately. He gets shipped off into the glider training pipeline. First they send him to Tennessee, then they send him to Arkansas, then they send him to South Carolina. He's literally flying a giant kite, they're cutting the ropes, and he's practicing his crash landings over and over and over again. And this goes on for months and months and months, and you gotta remember, Charles Carpenter is a historian. He's always thinking the big picture. He's always known that these gliders were a bandage fix. They were just something that had to be done. They were not the ideal scenario. On top of that, they also have a very specific niche application of when and if these are ever going to be used. So he kind of starts to feel like maybe he's wasting his time, because the longer this goes on, the more planes America is building, and maybe they're not going to have to use these gliders at all, and maybe he's just wasting his time. And then one day on the bulletin board, there's another list for volunteers for a different crazy flight program called a liaison pilot. Now, conceptually, this job is nothing new. It's basically recon. It's just get up really high, be able to spot the enemy, report what the enemy's doing back to your chain of command. Back in the day, you'd send scouts up on the high ground. Back in World War I, you had hot air balloons, and now in World War II, they're going to have liaison pilots. Why is that dangerous? Because they're flying an L4 Grasshopper, okay, which is literally just a J3 Piper Cub, which is like the most mass-produced trainer plane at this point in time. Like, if you were a pilot, you first learned how to fly a plane on a J3 Piper Cub. It's literally the Model T of airplanes. It's got fabric wings, like an 80 horsepower engine, and its top speed is like 85 miles an hour. It's basically a papier-mâché plane with a lawnmower blade sticking out of the front. And not only is it slow, it has no offensive or defensive capabilities. It can't engage the enemy, and it can't defend itself when it gets engaged. So literally, you're just going up in the air, getting eyes on the enemy, and hoping they decide not to shoot at you. And the reason the Army wants to use this feeble aircraft is because it's super easy to fly on, and you can land it in a random field. You don't need a runway, and you can take off and land in like 300 feet, which is actually where it got the name the L4 Grasshopper, because it's literally just a J3 Piper Cub, but the Army's got to give it a different name. And when the J3 Piper Cub was going through military testing, they were landing it in random fields, and this green little plane would hit the ground and skip and skid to a halt. And one of the generals said, instead, it looks like a damn grasshopper, and that's how it got the name, the L4 Grasshopper. So these liaison pilots are going to be operating like a mile behind the front line, taking off from a random field, loitering over the battlefield for hours, calling in artillery, and reporting back enemy troop movements to their chain of command. Basically, liaison pilots in the L4 Grasshopper is the world's first version of a recon drone, except for, you know, the whole point of a drone is you can go do dangerous shit and not put your men in harm's way, but that's not really an option here. And Charles Carpenter is like, sounds great, whatever gets me into the battle, sign me up. And I mean, to be fair, he had already volunteered to crash land a giant kite with no engine, so now he's flying what amounts to a kite with an engine, so I guess it is an upgrade. From here, he gets shipped off to Texas to learn how to fly the L4 Grasshopper, which he already knows how to do because he's been a pilot instructor forever, passes that with flying colors, then they send him off to Fort Sill, home of the artillery, where he gets to learn how to call in artillery while he's inside of his plane. Okay, in timeout, because I need you guys to understand how insane this job is. I don't want you to think I'm pumping up flying a Cropduster like it's some incredible job, because I know it's not as glamorous or as glorious as being a fighter pilot. This job is fucking nuts. Okay, A, he's alone, almost always. The plane literally isn't big enough to carry 2 people in it and be fast enough to not get shot at. So he is alone inside of a plane. Inside of the plane, it is his job while 2,000 feet above the ground, traveling 85 miles an hour in a noisy ass cockpit, being propelled by a lawnmower blade, to be able to look down, spot the enemy, and call in artillery, okay? And you're thinking like, oh, you just pick up the phone and say, send the artillery. No, he has to be able to figure out, while moving in one direction, where the enemy is on the grid, like get their coordinates, and then call that in relation to him as he's moving, and the enemy's also potentially moving as well. And he's trying to do math and trajectory problems while flying a fucking plane. The entire job is literally fly a plane, hope to God you don't get shot down, and while you're flying the plane, have the world's shittiest math quiz, and if you fail, you or your buddies die. So is being a liaison pilot as glamorous as being a fighter pilot?
One of the nicest things, luckily though, is because they were fast enough that it wasn't worth shooting at, typically speaking, when the Germans would see these Cropduster planes come across their line, they wouldn't actually waste the ammo trying to shoot at them. So it was relatively safe compared to most frontline positions.
Absolutely not. But I would argue that they have way bigger balls. I mean, as an outsider looking in, which job would you rather have? Option A, you could be a fighter pilot, basically take up what amounts to a hot rod covered in machine guns and zip around the battlefield shooting at the enemy. Or B, you could take up your grandpa's Cropduster, traveling at the speed of smell with no weapons to fire at the enemy or defend yourself. And the entire time that you're loitering over the battlefield, hoping you don't get shot down, you're doing Sudoku puzzles with life or death consequences for you and your buddies. Now, if you're not picking up what I'm putting down, I'm trying to articulate to you that liaison pilots are highly underrated. These are quite literally Iron Men flying paper planes. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. Charles Carpenter completes his training, gets his L-wings, officially becoming a liaison pilot. From here, he gets assigned to the 4th Armored Division in Patton's 3rd Army. So he goes out with the 4th Armored Division. They're training out in the deserts of California, getting ready to go into theater, and very quickly he becomes the top liaison pilot in the entire 4th Armored Division. He is essentially now the man in charge of all the other liaison pilots. Both because he's extremely capable, but also because he's like in his early 30s at this point in time. He's an older dude by standards. He's more mature, he's a teacher, he's college educated, he's just the right guy for the job. Because of this, he essentially becomes the personal pilot for the general of the 4th Armored Division, John Shirley Wood, a man who's described as being broad in the shoulders and even broader in the waist. And remember, the L4 Grasshopper, not really meant to have 2 people inside of it, and the general is a big boy. Charles Carpenter, also a pretty big guy. They are way overweight when he's flying this general around. So not only does he get used to flying a over-encumbered L4 Grasshopper, but he also ends up becoming really good friends with the general, again, because he's one of the only older guys around. Everybody else is a 19-year-old kid. He's super well read. The general's probably super well read. They become homies. And both of these things are going to save his ass later on. Early 1944, Charles Carpenter and the rest of the 4th Armored Division head off to Great Britain. They're training there, they're getting ready. That goes on for a couple of months. D-Day happens in June of 1944, and by July of 1944, Charles Carpenter and the rest of the 4th Armored Division go into France. Right out of the gate, he's doing his job exactly how he's supposed to. He's going up, he's doing recon, he's calling in artillery, he's being the personal pilot for the general whenever he needs it, and this goes on for a couple of weeks, and the entire time, every mission, it starts to eat at him more and more. He feels like he's not doing enough. He's not going out there and confronting the enemy. He's just loitering above the battlefield. He's cutting himself and his contribution short. And then he gets his chance to confront the enemy in person on August 1st, 1944, outside of a French town known as Avranches. I want to be clear, we don't know the exact context of how this unfolded, but we do know that he was in a Jeep by himself, conducting forward reconnaissance, looking for an empty field to land his plane and all the other L4 Grasshoppers. Now, the fact that he's going out by himself in a Jeep to look for a place to land his Grasshoppers closer to the front line tells me that he's probably been up in the sky conducting reconnaissance and come to the conclusion that there's no Germans in the area, so they're going to move forward. That's just where my head is at, and probably his too. While he's in his Jeep looking for a new operational base for all of his L4 grasshoppers, he comes up on a bunch of American tanks and American infantry, and they are in a firefight with the Germans. So he hops out of the Jeep, runs up to some of the infantry, asks what's going on. They're telling him there's a ton of Germans in the area. They're pinned down. They can't punch through into this town. And this is where I'm inferring something. I'm assuming he knows that that's bullshit. That's not a possibility. He's probably been up in the air conducting recon for days. He knows that there's no massive German element here, so he thinks that this is just some kind of German trick or some last stand. But what we know for sure is that he then proceeds to run up to the nearest Sherman tank, whose commander isn't there for one reason or another, hops in the turret with the 50 cal, and yells down to the crew, "Let's go." He's an officer, they're lower enlisted, they listen to him. They drive straight into the Germans, firing the 75mm cannon on this Sherman with the other tanks and infantry following behind him, and they start clearing the town block by block, and every time they round a corner, he yells down to the crew,
"Fucking hops in the turret of a Sherman. All right, guys, let's fucking go."
Let it go, and they fire another round, forcing the Germans to retreat further, block after block, slowly clearing this entire town. As they round the last corner on the last block in this town, they're about to take the entire thing. Through the smoke and chaos of the battle, he sees a tank, and he yells down to the crew, "Let it go," and as soon as the words leave his mouth, he sees through the smoke that it's another Sherman tank. He has a gut-wrenching, oh shit moment as time slows down, and before he can say a word, the gun fires. And he watches in slow motion as his tank fires on another American Sherman tank that's got a bulldozer blade attached to the front of it. And thank God the shell only hits the bulldozer blade, blows it off the tank, and nobody's hurt.
Guess what? What? Fuck you! Fuck you!
So that's great news. Nobody got hurt. Also great news, he just helped break through the German lines by leading this massive offensive into a French town. Bad news, the other tank commander who just got his bulldozer blade shot off crawls out of his tank and starts walking over to Carpenter's tank, rightfully furious and pissed off. And when he gets there, he's expecting to chew out, I don't know, another tank commander. And what he finds is a liaison pilot that's not even in this unit, that's not supposed to be there, that just commanded one of his tanks to shoot at his tank.
It's only my third day out here. I don't know.
So he goes from being furious to absolutely mega pissed, and to be fair, he's kind of justified. He immediately orders Charles Carpenter get arrested and says that he's going to do everything he can to make sure he faces a firing squad for fratricide.
Oh, shit.
Luckily, his homie, General Shirley Wood, finds out that his pilot and buddy has been arrested. He goes, springs him out of jail, but it's the wrong chain of command, and he doesn't have enough sway to be able to get rid of the potential court-martial that Charles Carpenter is now facing. So, at the very least, he's not going to be facing the firing squad, but he's still potentially looking at getting dishonorably discharged from the military. So, General Shirley Wood takes the case to the next tier higher, somebody that can resolve this issue, his buddy from West Point, General Patton.
You what?
General Patton.
Sorry, he just has General Patton as a buddy? God damn.
Here's about what happened. He says something along the lines of, and I quote, "That's the type of fighting man I want in my army," and gets rid of the court-martial and wipes his slate clean altogether. Now that part we know happened for sure, but I also believe that this is the point where Charles Carpenter was not only given a second chance, but I believe Patton also gave him the Bronze Star with V device and promoted him to Major at this point as well.
See, now that's some bullshit.
Unfortunately, I can't present that to you as 100% fact because I cannot find any of his medal citations or promotions anywhere in the National Archives. I'm assuming he's in that 80% majority that lost all their personnel records in the fire in 1973. But I believe at this point, Patton did award him the Bronze Star with V device and promote him to Major, which is absolutely on brand for General Patton. All right, so had a little oopsies. Everything worked out all right. He's back in the saddle. He's not in trouble. He's going out on missions. Everything's back to normal. And then there's a rumor going around in the liaison pilot community that apparently somebody somewhere on the Western Front mounted a bazooka onto the wing of their L4 Grasshopper, fired it, and the plane didn't blow up. It didn't catch the wing on fire. It worked out. Okay, now bear in mind, this is a rumor. This is 15 degrees removed. Some guy told another guy that apparently this happened. But when Charles Carpenter hears that it happened, he's like, I'm fucking doing it. So he goes to the chain of command, asks permission, is like, hey, I heard this is possible. I want to give it a try. His chain of command, being cool as shit, is like, look, I'm not saying you're allowed to do that. I'm also not saying that if you did, I'm going to stop you, which he takes as a green light, and he does it. Okay, bear in mind, this is a rumor. He heard from a guy who heard from a guy that this is theoretically possible, and he's going to go out there and actually figure out how to do it. There's no YouTube tutorial.
Motherfucking look. That shit's modern Mythbuster.
Oh, there's no how-to, there's no pictures of how it was done. He's just gonna go out there and figure out how to mount a bazooka onto his plane. Which, to be fair, doesn't sound like it would be that complicated until you actually start to think about the fact that this is borderline approaching rocket science, right? I mean, you can't just be strapping big, heavy metal tubes onto the wings of aircrafts and expect it to not interfere with, I don't know, aerodynamics, weight distribution, all the shit that goes into, I don't know, keeping a plane in the fucking sky.
That's simply not possible. Why isn't it possible? It's just not. Why not?
But why not, bastard?
And if you don't believe me, go make a paper airplane, throw it across the room, watch it go, and then pick it up, strap some weights to each wing, and throw it again and see how different it flies.
Oh,
Oh man, it slipped out of my hand. What a whiff.
Regardless, he's a smart guy. He figures it out. You can't literally mount the bazooka on the wing because they're fabric wings, so he mounts it on the wing strut, and then he mounts it so that the actual weight of the bazooka with the shell is behind the rear tires and behind the pilot, because the center of gravity on these Piper Cub planes is actually behind the pilot already, so he's using his own body weight to counteract the weight of these bazookas.
Yes, science!
So he ends up mounting one bazooka on each side of the plane, does a test run, it flies okay. Then he runs electrical wires into the cockpit on a panel where he can fire each bazooka individually or both at once. Goes up on a test run, fires the bazookas, doesn't light the wings on fire, doesn't blow them out of the sky. He's actually able to semi-accurately shoot these bazookas. He lands, and it's like the holy shit, that actually worked, at which point he has a wonderful idea. You know what's better than 2 bazookas?
Two more. Yeah, 3.
That's right, 4 bazookas. So he mounts 4 bazookas on his plane, goes up, does a test run, it works, comes back down, lands. You know what's better than 4 bazookas? 6 bazookas. Goes up, does a test run, it works again, comes back down, and lands. You know what's better than 6 bazookas on an L4 Grasshopper?
Here I come.
An L4 Grasshopper with 6 bazookas and a dope-ass paint job where he names his plane Rosie the Rocketer after Rosie the Riveter. From here, he takes his Grunts and Crafts project into combat. From here, things get a little bit fuzzy.
You absolute maniac.
Because again, a lot of the documentation was probably lost in a fire in 1973, and there probably wasn't a lot of great documentation taken at the time to begin with, because again, he's a one-man show. If there's not...
Child, that's what science is. Remember, science is simply the application of the scientific method, which requires a hypothesis, experimentation, peer review, and then, you know, you go
a witness to verify whatever he said happened.
Darn it. Come on, why'd you have to do that? I was doing so good. And now I'm not. And now I am.
Can't really prove it. They can't officially say that it happened. But what we do know is outside of Sens, France, there was some German tanks and some German armored cars that were now apparently on fire and blown up. We don't know if they were from his bazookas or from him calling in artillery or a combination of the two. I like to think it was a combination of the two. So Charles Carpenter, after presumably destroying a German convoy by himself and or with the help of artillery, decides, you know what, I'm gonna go land my plane in a field next to this burning convoy and inspect it and see what happened. I wanna see how good these bazookas are performing. So that's what he does. Lands his plane in the field, grabs a gun, goes out there to inspect it, finds 6 surviving Germans and takes all 6 of them as prisoner, and then proceeds to put bullets in the engine blocks of all the remaining vehicles that weren't burning yet. Okay, do you understand how ridiculous and gangster this is from the German perspective? Okay, because at this point in time, the German ideology was, if you see an American spotter plane, if you see a grasshopper up in the sky, they don't have guns. They can't really hurt us. They can just call in artillery and have that rain down on our heads. So the strategy for them at the time was, if you see it, hide from it, don't shoot at it and give away your position, because he's going to call in artillery. Best case scenario, you shoot down a $2,000 plane and take out one guy, and he dumps artillery on your entire unit. It's a bad trade. So usually they just ignore it. So these Germans are sitting there in this convoy and they're like, it's just a spotter plane. Ignore it. Oh, it's getting pretty close. Oh shit, it's diving on us. And then it starts shooting bazookas at you and calling in artillery, destroys your entire convoy. Then the pilot proceeds to land in the field next to you and get out of the plane like dad coming home from work and capture you as prisoner. From here, word spreads like wildfire. There's some crazy ass major out there somewhere on the Western Front flying a Cropduster around shooting bazookas at Germans. From here, people start calling him the Mad Major, Bazooka Charlie, and he pretty much gets told, I mean, do whatever you want. You can call in artillery, you can shoot bazookas at people. Remember, he's good buddies with the top general. He's the only guy doing this. It seems to be effective. Why get in his way? Let him keep blowing up Germans. Everything works out. So that's what he's doing. He's just going up in the air, calling in artillery when he sees fit, shooting bazookas when he sees fit. Everything's going great. And during this time, he really refines the method, okay? He kind of figures out as close as you can how to accurately aim these bazookas. I mean, at the end of the day, it's basically a giant bottle rocket. The bazooka is going to do what the bazooka wants to do, but he kind of gets a feel for where they usually go on average. He's got markings on his windshield inside the cockpit for where the bazooka should land. On top of that, he refines how he does his attack runs. He comes in at like 800 feet, does this corkscrew maneuver, goes down, drops to 300 feet, levels out, fires his bazookas, and then dives straight up, literally pulling G's in a fabric plane. And again, at this point in time, we have no idea how many other missions he ran, how many trucks or armored vehicles or tanks that he took out. On top of that, even if
this dude is fucking pulling G's in a fabric plane, that's wild.
He did take out tanks. Not many people would believe him. And that's because at this point in time, bazookas weren't very successful against German tanks. German armor was incredibly thick, and a bazooka, more often than not, even if you scored a direct hit, was not going to penetrate the front or side armor of a German Panther or a German Tiger tank. But what most people didn't realize at the time, he's not shooting at a German Tiger tank from the front or the side. He's shooting at it from the top, like an early version of a Javelin missile, literally hitting the tank at its weakest possible point, because no engineer could have ever foreseen, what if somebody was flying above you with a fucking bazooka? At no point in the German engineering process did any of the engineers say, yeah, but what if a crazy history teacher from Illinois in a Cropduster covered in bazookas develops the pro gamer move? Okay, if you're not picking up what I'm putting down, I'm trying to tell you it's not only possible for Bazooka Charlie to take out a German tank with his Cropduster, it's probable. The only problem is it's one of those things you're going to have to see to believe, and he's a one-man show, so nobody's seen it but him. Yet. All right, September 19th, 1944, the Battle of Ericourt, right outside of Nancy, France. It is the largest armored battle on the Western Front in all of World War II. The Germans have approximately 262 tanks and armored vehicles, and the Americans have approximately 140 Sherman tanks. The Germans have the upper hand, but per usual, the Americans have air superiority. Problem, it's foggy as shit and the planes can't fly. Regardless, Charles Carpenter goes up anyways. Under the cover of the fog, the Germans start advancing, and after about an hour of loitering over the battlefield, Charles Carpenter finds a break in the fog, and what he sees is a German column advancing, and there's 6 soldiers pinned down at this watering point. It's the only place to get fresh water, and they were filling up water tanks for the rest of the unit. Bazooka Charlie sees what's unfolding, immediately takes action, goes into his corkscrew, dives down on the first tank, fires his first 2 bazookas. Both of them are a miss. Pulls up, circles back around, does his corkscrew maneuver again, dives again, fires 2 bazookas, hits the lead tank. The crew has to bail out. And the 6 guys that were getting water are watching this entire thing unfold, and they are the first people to ever see Bazooka Charlie take out an enemy tank with a bazooka strapped to a Cropduster, something that nobody would have thought was possible.
Yeah.
Holy fucking shit.
Yeah,
and Bazooka Charlie's still got 2 more bazookas fresh in the tank, pulls up again, circles back around, does his corkscrew again, dives on another tank, scores a direct hit. The Germans have no fucking idea what's going on. There's just a tiny little plane spawning out of the fog, taking out all of their tanks. They think it's some type of new weapon or an ambush or something crazy is going on, so they panic and retreat. The water crew escapes unscathed. They later confirm that he did in fact take out 2 enemy tanks, giving him his first 2 confirmed tank kills. He then flies back to base, has his ground crew reload the bazookas, and goes back up, fires all 6 bazookas again, goes back, reloads the bazookas again, goes back up, fires them all again. He fired no less than 16 bazooka rounds that day. Bear in mind, again, we have no idea how successful he was overall because he's a one-man show and he had to have witnesses to confirm stuff, but by the end of the day, he had ground confirmation from multiple other people that he had for sure destroyed 2 German Panther tanks, 2 armored vehicles, and at least 12 ground troops. But his impact on the overall battle was so much bigger than that because, again, the fog cover was preventing America from having air superiority, meaning that the Germans had a humongous upper hand, but Charles Carpenter going out in the fog, preventing them from advancing, throwing the Germans off their game, kept them on their heels long enough for the fog to lift, and by the time they realized what the fuck was going on, and it was one crazy guy in a Cropduster, America had regained air superiority and flipped the entire battle on its head. By the end of the Battle of Ericourt, America had lost 30 tanks. The Germans had lost over 200 tanks and armored vehicles. After the Battle of Ericourt, the legend of Bazooka Charlie goes from being a legend within the ranks of Patton's Third Army to being a legend back home. He is in newspaper articles absolutely all over the place. Personally, he doesn't really care for the attention. He doesn't really like the notoriety. He even writes back home to his wife, Bunny, and says, hey, don't talk to the press. I don't want the attention. In an interview, he even told a reporter, and I quote, some people around here think I'm nuts, but I just believe that if we're going to fight this war, we have to get on with it 60 minutes an hour, 24 hours in a day. In addition to his newfound notoriety, he also has to deal with the fact that the Germans have caught on to his battle strategy and they have changed their tactics to ignoring spotter planes, to shooting absolutely everything they have at them all the time. Regarding that, he told a reporter, and I quote, word must be getting around among those to watch out for cubs with bazookas on them. Every time I show up now, they shoot everything they have. They never used to bother cubs. Bazookas must be bothering them a bit. Despite that, Bazooka Charlie goes out and continues to do Bazooka Charlie things, keeps going out on missions, keeps shooting his bazookas, keeps calling in artillery. And again, I reiterate for like the 15th time, we don't know how many enemy tanks and armored vehicles he took out during this time period because, again, he's a one-man show and everything has to have multiple eyewitnesses to be confirmed. Despite that, over the next month in October of 1944, he manages to bag 4 German tank kills confirmed, 2 of which were the German Tiger heavy tank, the baddest tank of World War II. The other 2 were allegedly Panther tanks, one of which was leading an entire column of tanks down a narrow road with ditches on either side, and Charles Carpenter dived on the lead tank, took it out, and then called in artillery and destroyed the entire column. Bazooka Charlie continues with his antics all through October, November, December, January. Again, documentation's not that great, but some accounts claim as many as 14 confirmed tank kills, as well as over 20 armored vehicles and countless enemy machine gun positions and ground troops. And somewhere along the line, he's also awarded a Silver Star and an Air Medal with Oak Leaf Cluster. But by February of 1945, he's hurting. He's got this massive lump on his neck. He has no idea what it is. He's extremely fatigued and tired, and he ends up getting hospitalized with battle fatigue initially. Army doctors don't know what to make of this lump on his neck. They send him off to Paris. He gets surgery, gets this massive lump removed, and he gets told that he has Hodgkin's lymphoma. They try to give him radiation treatment, but the Hodgkin's lymphoma is so advanced that they basically tell him, you've got a year, maybe 2 years to live. He's released from the army and sent back home. From here, he's reunited with the love of his life, Bunny, and his daughter, Carol, and he figures he's got 2 years left. He might as well make the most of it. He buys an Airstream trailer, and they tour the entire American West, and he gets to see all of the country that he fought for. Fast forward early 2000s, his daughter, Carol, is now in her 60s, and it's the early days of the internet, and she gets on the internet one day, and she's reading on war forums, and she finds a thread about her dad, and it's people talking about this crazy guy named Bazooka Charlie that supposedly mounted bazookas onto a Cropduster and eliminated a bunch of German tanks. But because there's such a lack lack of documentation and everything else, all the comments are doubting the validity of this story and nobody believes it. So she gets in this forum and she starts posting pictures that she has of her dad in theater, and she starts reading all of the letters that he had written back home to her mom, Bunny, and she helps validate this story, and it becomes a known fact. She then, with some help of some other people in the aviation community, goes on to write a book about it. And in one of the pictures that she has of her dad posing next to his plane, Rosie the Rocketer, you can actually read the serial number on the plane, and aviation people track down Rosie the Rocketer and find her in a museum in Austria. They buy the plane, bring it back home, and restore Rosie the Rocketer to her wartime paint job, and Carol's daughter, a graphic designer, gets to actually paint the old paint job of her grandfather on the plane. But that's not even the best part. The best part is that after Charles and Bunny and Carol got to tour the American West in their Airstream trailer, Charles felt great. So they went back home, and he still felt fine. So Charles went back to work being a history teacher, changing the world one classroom at a time, and a year went by, and he was still doing fine, and another year, and another year, and another year, and Charles lived an additional 22 years after he was given a one-year death sentence. He would finally succumb to Hodgkin's disease in 1966 at the age of 53, which is still a premature, tragic death, but the silver lining is he got to live an additional 22 years like he was dying. And I like to think Bazooka Charlie, of all people, was able to cram a lot of life into that 22 years under those conditions, and that's the best ending I could possibly give you. Thank you for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch over at thefatelectrician.com. Quack bang out.
Damn good shit. Damn good
Carol,
shit.
if you're watching this, I really hope you enjoyed it. I tried to do your dad justice. He's a humongous badass. So are you, for all the work you did telling his story. And I tried to get a hold of you, but couldn't. But if you do see this, I would love nothing more than to buy you a first-class plane ticket out to San Antonio and have you on my podcast, and we can talk more about your dad. Thanks.
Oh, that's nice. Very, very awesome. Very, very, very awesome. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. All right, chat. We've been online for almost just under 3 hours. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell as hard as you possibly can, and don't go anywhere because in 18 minutes we're going to be switching over to my Kick channel to continue our Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood watch-along with Mama Oko. But also on the YouTube end, I'm going to be doing, I think for the first time, a raid into Legal Mindset, who is currently talking about whether or not Asmongold should sue an individual who committed defamation per se against him. Where are you, Legal? Oh, it's upcoming. When's it upcoming? 8 p.m. You know what? I'm gonna send you guys there. Anyway. Alright, guys. Thank you so much for, again, coming by. Again, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit the notification bell as hard as you possibly can, and we will see you all over here in just a few.